everyone to the Dr. Greg Show, November 18th, 2025. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for coming here. Appreciate you being here. Lots to go over in the world and in science. Getting right into it, guys, there has been a crazy shift in how and what we are trying to attack as immigrants. I feel like there was a huge, obviously, with the immigration was in terms of like Hispanic people for the longest time, but it is interestingly enough coming for not just that. They are going for Chinese students now. They are considering Chinese students and anyone who has supported Chinese students. They're going after them, which is just insane. They're trying to ban collaborations with Chinese students, anyone past or present that has actually worked with them. So, wild. I think that it's just, I don't think that a lot of people understand that this is going on. Impeach Trump today, and I'm living proof. Kathleen Noack. Oh, okay. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's crazy with the Epstein stuff. I can't, you know, I'm really surprised that it passed so quickly. I guess I'm like very surprised, but I think that really shows that they have nothing to lose, and that makes me even more scared because it obviously means that they scrubbed it, and there's going to be nothing that really comes out, which honestly is going to make it seem very stale. I mean, everyone's kind of like expecting to see something crazy. So if it doesn't happen, and people are going to be like, "What? In what world?" So I think that yeah, that's going to be weird. What's up, AMDZ? How's it going? So yeah, that's going to be weird. It passed unanimously in both houses. I mean, that is so rare, guys. I mean, even like addresses and stuff are not even are not even universal yet. But yeah, it is very odd. It's very odd. We'll have to see. Obviously, I hope that justice comes to the people that are doing evil doers, right? I mean, that is the hope for the victims. I think that like too often we are kind of not thinking about that, the victims of this whole thing, and I hope that they get closure and justice in this matter. That's what I need, genuinely. Kath Horn, no, definitely. I don't think so. That's not right. They didn't get the idea from creation. It was just like engineering. Who is the one dissenter, the Republican? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what would Obama be for prison for? What would he be sent to prison for? Of all people, he seems no drama and didn't get anything, no problems with it. It's like very odd to single him out of all people. I thought there was the the Biden crime family. I thought that was the he's ultra MAGA. So he's like he's old school at MAGA, ultra MAGA, because the Trump is for releasing them now. So they voted for the bill to save face. Yeah, I think so, Manny. You know what, guys? I wanted to actually see the actual bill. House Epstein bill passed. I want to see the actual bill. Is this what it is? Epstein Files Transparency Act. This is it. Okay, here we go. This is a one summary. There is one summary for HR. Bill summaries are authorized by CRS. Okay. This bill requires the Department of Justice to publish in a searchable and downloadable format. That's actually kind of interesting. All unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in DOJ's possession that relate to the investigation and prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein. This includes 1. Materials that relate to Ghislaine Maxwell, 2. Flight logs and travel records, and 3. Individuals named and referenced, including government officials, in connection with the investigation and prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein. DOJ is required to withhold certain information, such as the personal information of victims and materials that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. Additionally, not later than 15 days after the required publication, DOJ must report to Congress 1. All categories of information released and withheld, and 2. A summary of any redactions made, and 3. A list of all government officials and politically exposed individuals named or referenced in the published materials. I mean, that seems just so rife for malfeasance. I'm so, I don't feel like that's going to be, I don't know, man. I'm so black-pilled on this, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that seems great, but I think there's so many loopholes there. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Um, Anything, all unclassified records. So, like, immediately, Trump is going to just, couldn't he just reclassify everything as, like, pretty much immediately? And just be like, I mean, he's done that. He's done that officially. That's what he's done. That was the whole thing with the Florida thing, where he hid um, those records. Trump said release it all. Yeah, but I mean, Joey, do you really believe him? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, are you just gonna believe what he says? So, how are we making sure that he is not withholding anything? That's okay. Yeah. So I don't just believe him. That's the thing. So I don't just wholesale believe anyone without like an independent body kind of like saying that. So that's the thing. Did you hear that Thomas Massey thinks Republicans will use um I no, I didn't. I don't know what he's going to use. Records did he hide in Florida? Oh, I mean, there's boxes and boxes of it. Are you kidding me? He had it and then he sold the information to other countries. Yeah. He was like selling our secrets, our national secrets, man. So that's a that's pretty well known, and he stopped the investigation because of it. Yeah, exactly what time? Well, exactly. They bought time to figure out a plan to not affect Trump. Yeah, I agree with that. The thought that he's not going to redact all the Republicans, leave the Democrats in there. Yeah, Leslie, I think that that's going to be pretty obvious. I think like the Democrats are kind of falling for this one. I don't know. Maybe they have it. He sold national secrets, but he's not in jail. I know, Joey. He did an insurrection too, and he's not in jail too. And he yeah, I mean it was like pretty crazy. He's violated multiple constitutional amendments, and he's not in jail. I don't know. I don't know. That's been happening, dude. That's been happening. Massey thinks Republicans will use a loophole to classify accused names of victims to redact them. Yeah, I think that I mean, I was just reading someone's like some lawyer like talking about like they can't do that. Like the executives can't do that, but I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, hey, would you have looked into alpha particle theory? No, I haven't. I'm not a physicist. March peacefully. Yeah, did you miss the other like 90 minutes of that speech when he said you got to fight like hell and you need to steal your country back because it's been stolen from you? I mean, you cling on to that one those two words, but I mean, we're um that doesn't conflate with every single other sentence of that speech. You obviously haven't watched it. So, you're mirroring what you've heard. Trump redacted his name. I would not be surprised, yeah, if he redacted his own name, if he redacted, whatever. Yeah. No, it doesn't look like it, Joey. Doesn't look like it. Alpha particle theory is a cancer cure. Okay. Let's check it out. Alpha particle theory. No, dude, this is just like some quantum stuff. That's like, nah. I mean, we can like, let's do it live. Let's do it live. Let's go. We'll go to scholar.google.com. Let's put in alpha particle theory here, and then cancer. Let's do it live. Here we go. Long risk at low dosage of alpha particles from 1986, 1988. Okay, maybe you are right. Okay, so 2006, the Lancet. Let's see, the highest. Let's see. Alpha particles for targeted therapy. Alpha particles are helium. I don't need AI right now. I am reading. Alpha particles are helium nuclei that deposit DNA damaging energy along their track that is 100 to 1,000 times greater than that of conventionally used beta particle emitting radionuclides for targeted therapy. The damage caused by alpha particles is predominantly double-stranded DNA breaks severe enough so that as to be almost completely irreparable. Okay, this means that a small number of tracks through a cell nuclei can sterilize a cell, and that, because the damage is largely irreparable, alpha particle radiation is not susceptible to resistance as seen with other external radiotherapy. The ability of a single track of influence to influence biological outcome and the stochastic nature of alpha particle decay requires statistical or microdosimetric techniques to properly reflect likely biological outcome when the biologically relevant target is small or when a low number of radionuclide decays have occurred. In therapeutic implementations, microdosimetry is typically not required, and the average absorbed dose over a target volume is typically calculated. Animal and cell cultures studies have shown that per unit absorbed dose, the acute biological effects of alpha particles are 3 to 7 times greater than the damage caused by external beta or particle radiation. Over the past 10 years, 15 years, alpha particle emitting radionuclides have been investigated as a possible new class of radionuclides for targeted therapy. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's working though. I mean, it's not like there's huge. These are not. So, okay, let's try since 2021. These are all old papers. Revisiting, yeah. I mean, they're revisiting it in 2021, but that's just it's not like a huge thing. I wouldn't think that it's like a new cancer treatment. It's just like an old one that hasn't been shown to work. A systemic review current findings what is needed in 2022. What? Tap on things commonly used with the shown item. Oh my gosh, mice? Oh my, wow, that is weird. Did anyone see that? That is such a weird thing. What in the world? Okay. TAT significance. TAT is a form of cancer treatment capable of highly localized dose to the tumor environment while sparing the surrounding healthy tissue. Dosimetry is an important metric. Detailed dosimetry models and guide the clinical application of it. Doesn't seem like it's really like a mainstay though. It's maybe something that could be in the future. From the systematic, 3 key points were, yeah, small molecules, distribution. Doesn't seem like it's like a huge thing. Yeah, it just needs more studies. No, debate doc. It's cool. We're just. I mean, do you know about these stuff? Do you know about? Hey, Skog, what's up, dude? Wait, do you know about these things?
But
Hey, what's up, dude?
you're more in the hey. No, I don't really know what you're talking about, to be
Oh, okay.
honest. I just know that your field is mostly microbiome, and I thought that if you're looking at like kind of cancer treatments and cancer biology,
Yeah,
I might be able to provide some assistance in kind of just parsing through it.
it was just like targeted alpha therapy. Someone had mentioned it in chat, and it sounded like one of those like quantum things, the fake like quantum folding light stuff. So I was like, does this
Definitely not
sound
really a
like?
quantum thing.
Well, I mean, like the I should say yet to be proven cancer treatment.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because alpha decay is like the release of I think helium nucleus.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a form of like nuclear decay when rather than like electromagnetic radiation being released, it's I think a helium nucleus gets released.
What's up, Harry? How's it going? You're the one that brought it up.
Hi, Doc.
Hi. Yeah, I'm skeptical when anyone says anything's a cancer cure. So it makes me think that you don't understand what cancer is, and I'm very skeptical.
Well, yeah, cancers and mutations.
I was going to say that one seems interesting. That global experience with PSMA-based alpha therapy in prostate cancer, because based on a little snippet that I saw of one of the abstracts that you were looking at, it seems like they might put because it was like something 223, like some radioactive isotope. And I do know that sometimes for certain cancers, I think they use it in breast cancer too, they'll take a radioactive material and they'll implant it in the cancer, and it will release, radiation. I guess in this case, it might be like alpha particle based radiation. And so it's like implanting. So it's like radiation therapy, but it's like implanting it into the cancer, and it like releases the kind of radiation like kind of in situ or in situ.
Yeah.
And like helps kind of kill the cancer, like very locally, like a very targeted therapy.
Yes, targeted therapy. I heard of this through Kirk Sorensen, who was trying to get people to kind of warm up to thorium reactors, molten salt reactors, to create energy. With these molten salt reactors, they created alpha particles, which are very rare.
No, alpha radiation is not that rare. There are plenty of things that emit alpha radiation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's not something you can collect either. It's literally just a form of radiation. Like it's there are different types of radioactive decay, and alpha decay is just one type of radioactive decay. Wherein I think it's loss of the helium nucleus, but it's like a very very high energy kind of particle, and so like alpha radiation,
and it can target.
Yeah, well, so like if you're talking in terms of like the relative energy of different types of radiation, like X-rays are a little lower energy, but they have like higher penetrance than gamma rays. UV radiation has even higher penetrance than actually no, I think X-rays might have higher penetrance than UV, but because like you have melanin and stuff, but like X-rays have more penetrance but are like lower energy than gamma rays, and then gamma rays have less energy but higher penetrance than alpha like radiation, because those again are like actual particles. And so I think like any sort of material can like shield against alpha radiation. Like it has very very low penetrance.
Can we collect those particles though and use them in medicine?
No, well, I don't think you can collect it. I mean, I think you can use the like alpha decay like that radiation in medicine, but I don't think you can collect the alpha particles.
But is that useful in cancer treatment at all?
I'm looking at targeted alpha particle therapy right now. There's a Wikipedia page for it.
Yeah, as soon as I'd listened to Kirk Sorensen talking about this, I looked into that targeted therapy, and it seemed like something really, really great.
Oh, well, this is interesting. So this is a little different than what I was thinking, because I'm pretty sure that there is some sort of therapy where they, implant some sort of radioactive material like into a solid tumor.
Mm-hmm.
But this is pretty interesting. This is the intro to the Wikipedia page on targeted alpha particle therapy. Targeted alpha particle therapy, or TAT, is an in-development method of targeted radionuclide therapy of various cancers. It employs radioactive substances which undergo alpha decay to treat diseased tissue at close proximity. It has the potential to provide highly targeted treatment, especially to microscopic tumor cells. Targets include leukemias, lymphomas, gliomas, melanoma, and peritoneal carcinomatosis. As in diagnostic nuclear medicine, appropriate radionuclides can be chemically bound to a targeting biomolecule. That's pretty sick, which carries the combined radiopharmaceutical to a specific treatment point. It has been said that alpha emitters are indispensable with regard to optimization of strategies for tumor therapy. That's pretty sweet.
Ooh, can we lean into that instead of oil?
Well, I mean, we're talking about kind of different things now. But.
Well, I mean, a molten salt reactor creates these alpha particles just as a byproduct.
Yeah, but again, you can't really harvest them because it's, like I said, I just looked it up. I was correct. It is a helium nucleus. So it's just a helium nucleus. Like, you can't harvest helium nuclei,
It's very short-lived, but
yes,
it's available. Can't we do that instead of pushing chemicals into the ground and poisoning water? We can just do this instead and have this thing to test, discover. Can't we do that instead?
Maybe it's sometime in the future.
Yeah, I think we're talking about different things right now.
Yeah.
Well, we should.
But yes, it'd be cool if we did more nuclear energy. I'm a fan.
Yes, nuclear energy. Jeez.
All right, Harry. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for talking about it, man. Thanks for bringing it up. So I think this is just yeah. So thanks for bringing it up, dude.
For having me. And I can't see the other guy's name, but
Debate Doc.
Thank you, dude, too.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, man. See you.
There we go. This is what it's called. Brachytherapy, or internal radiation therapy. Uses radioactive implants to treat various cancer types.
Interesting.
Yeah, placing radioactive seeds, pellets, or other sources inside or near a tumor to deliver a high dose of radiation directly to the cancer cells. Because I'm pretty sure that that's used in prostate cancer sometimes. Oh. Yeah, prostate and breast. Boom.
Nice.
I remembered things.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Very nice.
Thank you. Nice I get excited when I remember stuff.
Nice pull. All right, man. Okay. Well, I'm going to take cool. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you talking about that. Sure. All right. Have a good one, man. Peace.
You too.
All right, guys. Always interested in seeing odd comments in chat. Sometimes they're so interesting, and then sometimes, yeah, we'll learn more. We always learn more. Okay, so the actual text of this HR bill for the Epstein stuff, the actual release documents. It's a really short bill. This is a very short. We're talking, we might as well just read it. Mr. Khanna. Oh, is this Ro Khanna? Is this who introduced it? Yeah, it is Ro Khanna. That's awesome. Ro Khanna is great. Okay. In general, 30 days after the enactment of the AG shall, subject to subsection B, make publicly available in searchable and downloaded format that relate to Jeffrey Epstein, including all investigations, prosecutions, and custodial matters, Ghislaine Maxwell, flight logs, so, or any vehicle, vessel, or vehicle owned, operated, or used by Jeffrey Epstein or any related entity. So, famously, Trump and Epstein shared the same plane. They passed it back and forth. So, like, that would be a good thing to see if they actually scrub that. I mean, I don't think that they will. It'd be interesting, though, with how brazen they get. Individuals, including government officials, named or referenced in the connection with the Epstein's criminal activities, civil settlements. That has to do with his original case in like 2008. That was that had that he got off on, that he never like served time for. It's very weird. Entities, corporate, nonprofit, academic, governmental, with known Epstein's trafficking or financial networks. People still don't understand how Epstein got so much money. Like not connected to that all stuff. Like he became a billionaire that people don't really understand how. So I'm sure that they're trying to like unearth some of that. Any immunity deals, plea bargains. Whoops. No. All communications, documents on Epstein's detention or death, prohibited grounds for withholding. No record shall be held, delayed, or redacted on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensibility. Wow, so brave to put that in. No CSAM. No depict images of death, physical abuse, or injury. All redactions must be accompanied by a written justification. Another AG thing that they can do, and then they have to report to Congress. Within 15 days of completion of the release required under Section 2, the Attorney General must submit to the House and Senate committees on the judicial. They might have a security a hearing too. That might be interesting to watch. There's definitely going to be a hearing about it. It's going to be. We will have to see. All right. So, in other news, the United States is going after scientists and anyone that has worked with scientists from China. This is pretty wild. Oh, this is cool.
U.S. Congress considers sweeping ban on Chinese collaborations.
Oh, it's all AI though.
Researchers speak out against proposal that would bar funding for U.S. scientists working with Chinese partners or training Chinese students. Author Jeffrey Mervis.
Oh, I don't like this. Anyway. Scientists and research advocates in the United States are mobilizing to fight a bill that would essentially prohibit researchers with any ties to China and other countries deemed hostile from receiving federal funding. Nearly 800 academics signed a letter opposing the ban, part of a bill passed recently by the U.S. House of Representatives that sets spending priorities for the Department of Defense. A coalition of higher education and research advocacy groups has also urged Congress to strike the language as members reconcile the House version of the National Defense Authorization Act with what the Senate adopted last month. Final passage is expected by the end of the year. the Securing American Funding and Expertise from the Adversarial Research Exploitation Act, the SAFE Act, wow, they really got safe out of that, wow, would deny federal funding to any U.S. scientist who collaborates with, quote, anyone affiliated with a hostile foreign entity, end quote, a category that includes 4 countries: China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. The prohibited, can't read today, the prohibited, one second, I'm losing it, guys, I'm losing it. The prohibited activities would include joint research, co-authorship on papers, and advising a foreign graduate student or postdoctoral fellow. So I've done all of this. So basically, I would never be able to receive federal funding for anything. The language is retroactive, meaning any interactions during the previous 5 years could make a scientist ineligible for future federal funding. This is wild. So yeah, I would be banned. The Act's author, Representative John Moulinar, wants to, quote, stop federal science funding from going to universities or researchers that collaborate with China's military and intelligence services, end quote. Moulinar chairs the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, which has produced a slew of reports in the past 2 years decrying what it sees as a rising tide of such harmful collaborations. The proposed measure goes far beyond what's needed to protect U.S. interests. The U.S. American, the Association for American Universities and the American Public and Land Universities land grant universities say in their recent letter in the chairs of the conference on the NDAA bill, quote, while we are well aware of the need to prohibit certain types of collaborations to ensure national security, they write, the act would capture every single research agreement, every study abroad program, every language program, every professional conference, every campus facility that a U.S. university might have in partnership with another institution abroad. The lack of clear definition of, quote, affiliation in the SAFE Act could trigger arbitrary and biased enforcement of the funding ban, warns the Asian American Scholar Forum in a similar letter. It cites the chilling effect of the China initiative launched by President Trump in 2018 to prevent economic espionage, which led to the targeting of hundreds of U.S. scientists of Chinese descent for allegedly failing to disclose their ties to China. It will accelerate the breakdown of the people-to-people trust that's so important in scientific collaborations, says Haifan Lin, a Yale University cell biologist and AASF board member. And without this type of positive energy, the U.S. and China will become more and more polarized and eventually become each other's enemy. Lane himself lost access to the National Institute of Health funding for 2 years under the now-defunct Trump initiative after NIH asked Yale whether he had accurately disclosed his adjunct position at Shanghai Tech University, which led to a collaboration between the two institutions. And he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Representative Zoe Lofgren, California, the top Democrat on the House Science Committee, says Moulinar's approach ignores what Congress has already done to prevent U.S. adversaries from stealing intellectual property. Those measures generally target specific fields applicable to key military technologies, she notes. In other cases, they require disclosure of ties rather than banning new funding. The Safe Research Act ignores and sometimes entirely contradicts what has already been passed into law. Yeah, that seems so heavy-handed. That seems so heavy-handed and insane. I don't understand that at all. Like, that is, like, there's already so much, like, why was this needed? Why was this needed? What happened? What was the precipice that this is needed? It's very weird. Hi, Ness. Welcome in. Very weird. Very weird. Yeah, Linda. I mean, there's a lot of collaborations that I've had with people all throughout the world in my science. Specifically, there was students and grad students and postdocs from China that I worked with. So it's unnecessary. Unnecessary, embarrassing, xenophobic. So, especially when these guys are literal traitors. Like, they are the traitors of this stuff, this nonsense, right? They are enabling the worst. And yeah, they're domestic enemies. I mean, it's crazy. These Republicans are hurting science in a way that I think that we have yet to fully understand and will really get any understanding of for a long time. It is like, okay, thank you for telling me. I think so. Yeah, I think so, NPC. Yeah, I think he is. I was trying to upgrade the quality, guys. I was trying to upgrade the quality on the stream. And so thanks for letting me know. Let's see. But I can only do some stuff live, I can only do some stuff live. So helps to test. Whoa. Wow. I'm back. Is this better? Oh, I think it messed up this. Oh, yeah, it does. It's okay. All right, whatever. Okay. How about this now? I think this is a lot better. Oh, okay, yeah, Heather, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bare necessity. I think it will. I think like the institutions being attacked and all the people that are leaving the institutions, we haven't really understood how many of them are. And it's going to be one of those things where we see later that it's like, wow, yeah, it's going to take a generation or two to get back. The overwhelming majority of scientists have always been above the fray of geopolitics. Yeah, yeah. At least this generation of scientists, I would say. Yeah. But I mean, science is political, and that's the kind of the problem is that we stopped recognizing that and fighting for our science, and now we are still under attack, right? That's the thing. So it's bad. Hopefully not so bad. Yeah, we are, Linda. It's true. All right. So, okay, guys. Wanted to go over talks of immunology. High five, man. How's it going? All right, guys. We are in the middle of an immunology class. We're taking immunology together. Immunology is definitely like one of my there's microbiology, immunology, and virology is kind of like They're all like brothers and sisters, you know. And I have very there's a lack of knowledge. I got a gap in my brain in regards to immunology. Honestly, partly because oh, nice, Bear. And then someone else did 3. I actually just thought about that. I'm sorry. It reminded me. All right. Nice, guys. We're at 6:55. Incredible. All right, guys. Let's give it up for Bear. Someone else earlier in stream, I missed it. We were talking to Debate Doc, talking about that thing. All right, in 3, 2, 1, 6:55, guys. Good job. How about the neurology study showing dementia in younger patients and not mentioning COVID as a cause? Yeah, that doesn't exist, Ross. That's not what it is. Yeah. That wouldn't be it. Maybe long COVID. Yeah. Maybe long COVID. All right. Okay.
Organs of the immune system. And so like I told you last time, this is kind of our cast of characters for what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the semester.
Hey, G. Cray, what's up?
Another way to kind of think about this is that basically right now we are taking this sort of whole mess of all.
That's right. That it's X Cult Girl. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, X Cult Girl and Bare Necessity, guys, for doing your emails. They both went to action.drgregshow.com. That's where the templates are, guys. The templates for the calls and the emails. And we are all actively organizing to stop the 423 MAHA bills that are surging through the United States right now, and we are trying to stop them. So we are targeting bills that are labeling mRNA vaccines as bioweapons. We're targeting ones that are trying to end free vaccine programs for kids. We are trying to stop bills that would make it illegal to administer COVID vaccines, actually making it so that physicians could lose their license. So we are targeting that, lots of different bills in different spaces. So go to action.drgregshow.com. You can get your political actions done there. Right.
Things that we see in the immune system, and we're going to try to break it into.
That didn't seem right, Heather, what they were talking about. That COVID has been shown to increase the plaque that causes dementia in Parkinson's, I believe. Oh, really? Oh, really, Heather? I wasn't just Oh, I didn't see that. No, I didn't. Maybe long COVID. So, okay. Yeah, Heather, if you could find that study for me, that'd be awesome. Okay, cool.
Some groups, and we're going to try to organize it in some way so that we see.
Cool, Grace.
The first way that immunologists like to organize all of this stuff that's in the immune system is that we like to talk about layers of immunity. And so we divide the immune system into a few different layers. In different places, sometimes you'll see something other than 3 layers, but I'm going to go with sort of the classic 3 layers. I've got a view from actually my virology textbook here and a view from my micro textbook on the right, because I think they both kind of get at a few different interesting things. And so you can see these different layers on the left. You've got these 3 layers of barrier defenses or
We've been seeing an acceleration of dementia and new onset in older adults. Not sure about the younger. Interesting, Dan. Huh. Yeah, sorry, I just dismissed your comments because I thought it seemed, yeah, I hadn't heard about it before. Oh, wow, Island. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that. That's wild.
Barrier immunity, innate defenses or innate immunity, adaptive defenses or adaptive immunity. And so one of the ways that immunologists divide up all of the different parts of the immune system is they say, okay, is this barrier, is this innate, is this adaptive? Some of you may have heard the term acquired immunity or the acquired immune system before. If you have heard that, that is a super out-of-date term. Most immunologists actually really kind of got rid of that term in like 2000. But
Dang.
it still persists in a few different places. If you've heard
Dang.
acquired immunity, that is adaptive immunity. So it
Adaptive.
has been renamed as adaptive immunity. I'll say a little bit about why that is a bit later, and a lot more of that in later classes. So we've got these 3 layers. Again, one thing to just be aware of is that these are 3 layers that we sort of made up as a way to help
Barrier,
us understand
innate, and adaptive. I wonder.
There are a number of cells and molecules that don't totally behave. I was actually here over the summer talking to
Nice,
a
Nana.
former student of mine who.
Very nice. Sick. Good job, Nana. Guys, give it up for Nana. Nice. All right, guys. 1,120 in 3, 2, 1. Nice. Amazing. Good job, Nana. Getting your adaptive immunity. Getting it going. Nice. Good work. Love the adaptive immunity. Oh, cool. Nice, Rapture. I hung out with some biologists tonight. Biophysicists, ornithologists. Wow, that is an eclectic crew. I don't normally see biophysicists. That's cool. Oh, nice. California Native Plant Society meeting. That's so sick. That's cool. Oh, cool. Nice X call. I'm sorry, I missed your message again. I don't know if you saw my message. I got my flu and COVID the other month. Does that still count? If you haven't counted it, that's fine. We'll count it. 1,122 guys. Let's give it up for X Cult Girl. Getting the actions done, getting her vaccines done. Legend here. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Good job. Nice. Good job, man. If they're your children, yeah, Nana. Yeah, we had we're huge fans of whole families getting vaccinated together. So we absolutely like count your kids with them too. Nice, X Cult Girl. Might be getting my COVID shot this week at an infusion if they have it on hand. Nice, Heather. Nice. Getting it all done if they can at the same time, that'd be great. Oh, my granddaughter is 7 and was excited. She got her flu shot. Right. Let's give it up for the granddaughter, Nana. Great grandparent getting a flu shot for the kiddo. In 3, 2, 1. Nice, Nana. Getting your kiddo a kiddo's kiddo. All right. Pfizer or Moderna, I would get either of the mRNA ones. The mRNA vaccine is showing some anti-cancer, anti-tumor, and benefits for anti-cancer drugs, so it's huge. I would just, I would go with one of those. Oh, nice, Devin. Nice. Hi, guys.
Was teaching a thing over the summer, and we were actually having an argument over whether certain things were barrier or innate.
Yeah, I was gonna say barrier or innate seems like kind of the same.
I consider them innate, and we were going back and forth. So it's not like that every line is perfect.
Yeah,
in all
yeah.
of this, and we'll see that in a few places. But it is really helpful as a framework for us to think about.
It's kind of like a. I think I taught it in my micro class. So it was like, it's like a course, one of those like ninja warrior courses that you have to get through. It's not like you can get through it, obviously, the barriers but the innate, I guess, would be kind of like, I don't know what the difference enough would be. Is adaptive immunity meaning like our own immune systems? Not all viruses can get that. So all of these are part of the immune system. So that's what the argument is. So the barriers, the innate immunity, the adaptive immunity, they're all parts of your immune system. The barrier would be like, I have cells that like need to have something like going on, and then you have like innate immunity, which would just be kind of like, I don't even know, maybe like white blood cells. I don't know. I don't know what I always thought of it as like the track that they had to go through in order to infect the cells that they're trying to infect. Neutrophils, basophils. Oh, Maiden, thank you. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, so it's like a generalized thing that you can go through. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Thank you. That makes sense. Yeah. Adaptive is T cells and all that kind of stuff. That makes sense. Sweet. Okay, cool.
I, for a lot of time, have always used this version that's on the left to talk about the layers of immunity. One of the micro textbooks uses the version on the right, and in a lot of ways I do think it is a lot better. Just because sometimes in the one on the left, it makes it look like totally like they don't interact. They're three different roles that are completely different from each other.
So we can't get adaptive immunity to COVID?
Kind of
Yeah, you can. I mean, that is what the vaccine does, right? The vaccine gives you your adaptive immunity through your antibodies, right? So it gives you those fighters. The problem is the incubation time. So basically, fast incubation viruses are, it's different. It takes some time to get your antibodies going and mount immune response. But like a slower incubation virus, a longer incubation virus, something like measles, for example, like it actually like having a vaccine allows your body to adapt and create it. A long incubation virus allows your body to mount the defense, basically use what the adaptive immunity already has and use it for the infection that's happening right now. I do question how well I even mount an immune response in general these days. It's a good question, Heather. I don't know. Cool, guys. We did the goal. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense based off of the waning antibodies, right? After like 10 months. So that makes sense to me. But either way, it has a short incubation time. Shingles vaccine is great. Yeah. And it's one that's like really, really painful to get shingles. So I think everyone wants to get the shingles vaccine. It's definitely after 6 months, but it definitely wanes like significantly after 10. It starts to after 6.
interacting a little bit more in terms of different ways of defending this castle. So it's not like they're totally separate. It's not like they might not happen sometimes at the same time, or they might not interact with one another.
Charlene, oh my gosh. Wow, flu COVID booster and the shingles vaccine. Whoa. Legend over here. Good job, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Let's give it up for Charlene. Good job. Good work. Good work, Charlene.
So you can see that this castle has a moat, and it has alligators, and it has archers who have arrows, and there's like people pouring
Average is about 6 to 9 months. Oh, wow. Interesting.
boiling oil, and there's like a wall, and like there's a bunch of different things. And I could, if I really wanted to stretch an analogy, tell you like why different. This one's like a moat, and this one is like an alligator, and this one is like an arrow, and things like that. And there are reasons why some of that's similar or different. But what you can notice is that some of these things are going to be like really specific. Some of them are going to be fast. Some of them are going to be slow. Some of them are like, you know, actual parts of the structure of the castle, and some of them are more like the boiling, like a chemical. Like there's a lot of interactions between them, and that sort of level of interaction between all of these different types of defenses is probably more realistic than these sort of walls. So generally, when we as immunologists think about barrier immunity,
barrier defenses like skin,
really
mouth,
thinking
stomach,
about,
small intestine.
different sort of anatomical structures, or sort of unique aspects of anatomy that try to keep microbes out, or that block microbes in general. They are not specific to any sort of microbe. They are super general, and the idea is really just keep the microbes out.
Huh.
And one of the reasons why, of course, that is important is that we talked about how quickly microbes reproduce last time. This sort of problem of timing and reproduction. And so you want to make sure that you are sort of keeping the microbes out as much as possible, or making it an inhospitable environment for them to. So the biggest barrier organ that we have, of course, is our skin. Many people don't think of the skin as an immune organ, but it is actually keeping microbes out. And if you were to go to the hospital and see burn patients, the thing that burn patients usually actually have problems with is infections, because they have lost the barrier. You can also think about things like the fact that your stomach has acid in it, so that if you ingest something, the acid might. Or the fact that your lungs have cilia that are sort of beating like this, trying to expel things, or other things like that.
Yeah.
So you can see there are things in like the skin, things in the GI tract, throughout the alimentary canal, in the airway and lungs, in the urogenital tract, in the salivary and lacrimal glands, which are tear ducts. All of those things that are basically just sort of barriers trying to keep the microbes out. In general, all of those barrier organs partially are working as actual physical barriers.
So it says barrier defenses. So biological barriers is a normal microbiota compete for space and nutrients. Physical barriers would be the extracellular fluid flow, which inhibits the attachment. That's like a huge portion of microbiology, the ability to create that biofilm. Tight junctions, which block the passage of pathogens. I mean, if you think about how close your skin cells are together, that is very tight. Chemical barriers, fatty acids, lactic acid, pH, which block the cell growth. Proteases, which degrade pathogen proteins. Lysosomes degrade bacterial cell walls. Defensins disrupt the pathogen membranes.
Barriers. So like they have unique types of junctions between the cells, so microbes can't sneak in. They have like a legit barrier where we're not going to have microbes coming in. So we got sort of these physical barriers, that physical movement of the cilia, all of that kind of stuff. We also have some interesting sort of chemical barriers, like things like that pH I mentioned in the stomach.
Well, the commensal bacteria is also on there too. All the bacteria on the skin surface. I was debating
with a former student about that line between barrier and innate. Some of these chemicals I think of as innate, and he thinks of as barrier. So like that's where we were discussing. So like the barrier organs have a lot of innate immune defenses, is what I would say. Like more and more often, we're also actually
Oh, interesting. To address the tight junctions in the gut. Interesting. Huh.
Realizing that some microbes who we have co-evolved with also seem to be part of this barrier defense. Your skin right now is actually covered with a layer of microbes that are nice, healthy friend microbes. And that means that there's no niche space for the bad guys. Your GI tract is full. Your lungs are coated. And so you've got all of these parts of your body that are basically coated by commensal organisms that make it so it's harder for other organisms to colonize. And so that's not even like part of your body, but technically that might be part of your barrier defense. And that is a big thing that people end up thinking about when they are, say, on antibiotics. But then the things that, to be honest with you, most immunologists don't spend a ton of time thinking about barrier defenses. We're not going to talk a ton about barrier defenses this semester. We're really going to be spending a lot of our time thinking about the other two layers, the innate and the adaptive. If you look at the course schedule,
Covered in micros, yeah. Covered, yeah. Yeah, Heather. It's crazy to think about. But yeah, it is. It makes such a big difference.
you'll see that Friday and next week, we're talking specifically about a lot of details of some aspects of the innate immune response. And so today I'm kind of giving you like broad definitions, a little bit of like compare and contrast between the innate and adaptive immune system. Don't worry there. Yes, there is so much more detail that I can say. It's just not necessarily a today thing. But so don't feel like if you're like, oh, but there's things I don't quite get from what we're doing right now. It's not like you have to know all of this today. But we do want to think a little bit about some of the compare and contrast of innate versus adaptive immune responses. And so there are versions of a table like this pretty much wherever you draw immunology, sort of compare.
So the adaptive versus innate. So innate immunity would be rapid response within hours, fixed, limited number of specificities, and constant during the course of response. And then adaptive, which is like all your antibodies and all that kind of stuff, which would be slow response in days to weeks, variable, numerous, highly selective specificities, improve during the course of response. Ooh, yeah, I am tired. Common effector mechanisms for the destruction of pathogens is what they're both all going for.
One of the really key things about innate versus adaptive immunity is the difference in timing of when we really see their action against pathogens. So they both maybe are doing stuff a lot of the time.
Okay. Oh, hi, Nightflyer. How's it going? I'm just tired, guys. I don't know if I have it in me tonight to watch this. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. What are we doing to do? What should we do, guys? You gotta do some GeoGuessr? Nightflyer, how's it going? Let's see, guys. Let's do some GeoGuessr. Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Let's do some GeoGuessr. All right, ready, guys? In 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Okay. All right. You guys can see. Man, I'm feeling like this trees. That looks very Europe. This feels very Europe right now. Small car, wide license plate. Feeling that X. Alton? Someone riding a bike. Bikes. Small house. Feels UK. Is this UK? Is this English? Those look very like UK to me. This Erlen? Oh, AT. Austria? AT. Unterland. AT. Has to be AT. Ooh. Road sign here. Oh. AT. Wait, look. Oh, shoot. Austria? I'm going to say Vienna. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know what AT is. That URL, the .at. Oh, man. Dang, that's a tough one. Wow, it was Austria. It was in Brengens. Of course. Brengens. No. Interesting. Brengens sits on the eastern shore of Lake Constance, one of Europe's largest lakes. The city lakeside promenade offers stunning sunset views over Germany and Switzerland. Cool. The more you know. Okay, here we go. Next round. Oh, thank you, Island. Appreciate you. Here we go. Oh. Okay, Auto Service San Jorge. What? Okay. What are we in right now? We're so high. The Google Street View car is so high. It's very odd. Well, a bunch of dogs. San Jorge. Where are we? South America? I'm going to say South America, maybe. Based off San Jorge. Oh. Cerrado. This is a total guess, guys. I have no idea. It's like very cold. Very cold. Doesn't look equatorial. So I want to say like Chile. Maybe Santiago. So I'm going to go with Santiago. Because like I think that you'd see more like vegetation. I think it might be even farther south. But we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll just go with it. Oh, man. No way. Montevideo. Montevideo. Yeah, I don't understand. The guy was so high. Montevideo, you guys, anyone get Montevideo, Uruguay? I got the right latitude, but I didn't get Montevideo. That's pretty funny. Okay, that's a tough one. Oh, this is nice. Nice little park here. Goya. 1746 Goya. Who is that? Who is that? Ooh. Punto limpo. Sepulveda. Spanish. Español. Hablamos español. Iki. ¿Dónde? Ay, ay, ay. Izquierda. Oh, what? Dios mío. Oh, Dios mío. No, 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 no. Oh, I think I got it. I got out of it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so close. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I'm gonna say like Mexico City. Bus. Oh no, the bus went away. Oh no. I don't have anything. I'm thinking Mexico City. I don't know. Out of nowhere. I have no idea. Madrid, nice. Hush, not got it, dude. Spain for sure. Spain maybe. Madrid, dude. You guys are good, man. You guys are way good. Nice, good work on the Spain. Yeah, you guys killed it. Very nice, guys. Chat did a great job. I lived in Madrid. Wow. Qué bueno. Qué bueno. I think we could do multiplayer GeoGuessr. Duels, yeah. I don't know how we played together with people. Like we just play as a chat. I don't know how to do that. Party. Invite your friends and play together. Oh, that's us. Unlock parties. Oh, it's like you have to pay for it. $9 a month. Oh, on Steam. Elite Awards. Private parties. Host free to join games with friends. That's us. Oh, we have to pay $250 a month. Interesting. I'll think about it. Type 1 in chat if you would want to do a GeoGuessr party game. Hi, Ashley. We can make our own party. I don't think that's how it works. Oh, you guys would want to play? Crowd control on Twitch. Is that what? Oh, this like lets you guys like figure out where to go or something. It's like takes over my game. Oh, that's funny. TikTok features. That's us. Super Mario. Oh yeah, I saw this when it was like people like were like messing up with someone. Yeah, they like made him. They were doing one of those jumping games, and he was like trying to get to the next part, and then you could like pay to like knock him off. You know what I mean? So that was the thing. That was why it was so like funny because he was just getting punted off of the thing. Yeah. Oh. No, what do you guys think of having me the new setup, the new stream setup? What do you guys think? I'm down here with you guys. And then we have like the content and stuff up there. I had to take chat off of stream off the screen though. It's hard to find a place for it. Cool. Good. Cool. And yeah, cool. I never looked at the other chat. Oh, the boutonniere. Yeah, sorry. I just wasn't feeling like putting my getting dressed up tonight. It was like it's really rainy. It's like the one time a year it rains in San Diego, and it was just like getting all comfy cozy. You know what I mean? Like in a hoodie, and I didn't want to get out of it, so I felt I don't know. It's hard over here, Ness. It's hard. You have no idea. Okay, there's like water falling from the sky. You know, it's insane. It's there. Where does it come from? Nobody can explain it. It's wild. You know, I can't explain it. Do you use the same mug every night and wash it? Or yeah. I just have like a water cup here for my 2 degrees. Wow. Oh my gosh, 2 degrees and it's raining. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Southern Cal, exactly, Rapture. Thank you. Exactly. At least someone understands. At least someone gets it. It's like 2 degrees above 65. You know? It's like cold. It's definitely like, okay, it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? It's 50 degrees. That's 1 more degree and you're in the 40s. Do you have any idea? That's so cold. And then it's like below that it's even colder, you know? There's like yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Chick-fil-A worker wants to call in from YouTube. What's up? Sure, dude. Do. Here you go, bro. Chick-fil-A, we got a YouTuber that wants to hang out with us, guys. Yeah, you can join the Discord, and then I'll drag you in. ALR. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I miss 50-degree autumns. Oh, Southern Canada. I love Southern California fall. It's the best, Rasher. The surf gets big. It's yeah, it's fun. It's fun. There's less like tourists, you know? It's just nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, they want to join in 2 minutes. You got it, dude. Oh, you almost hydroplane on the 5. Oh man, dude. Yeah, watch out for the dividers. There's it's crazy. Ugh. Soft. Ness, you moved there. You chose to move there. So that isn't, you were like, you heard the things about the London weather and you were like, yes, of course. But apparently people always say it's not as, it's like you hear about it, but then you don't realize how much of an impact it'll be until you move there. And then people are like, oh yeah, it sucks. Like my family moved to Seattle and it's the same thing. They were like, oh, like it's all right, whatever. And then they moved there and they're like, yeah, definitely depressed. This sucks. Denver, Colorado's no snow since last winter. No way, user. That's awful. How can Colorado have no snow? It is insane. No hurricanes, no earthquakes, no wildfires. Yeah, I mean that's not. Yeah, that's true. I don't get hurricanes or earthquakes or wildfires. I mean, like, it's so funny. Like growing up in Southern California, everyone. Yeah, you can Chick-fil-A. Yeah, Chick-fil-A worker, you got it. You just join the server and then jump into any of the rooms, and then I can bring you up. Oh, good, Heather. What's the Discord link? Here it is. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. What in the world? Why can't I do this? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I've been sending it to Twitch chat this entire time. My bad. What in the world? Let's try this. There you go. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know why this isn't logging on to YouTube for some reason. Nice. He just joined in he just joined in. Okay, yeah, just join the waiting room. Next up is the waiting room. You're good. On the left-hand side, you just double-click waiting room. Cool, there you are. Hello. Jesus Christ, dude. Why would you do this? Oh my god. What an idiot, dude. All right. Why would you like go through all that trouble just to do that? It's just crazy, dude. Yeah, exactly. Like, what in the world, man? Exactly, Ducray. Yeah, he's not smart enough to even use a microphone. Yeah. I know, Nightflyer. Exactly. What a loser. Anyway, geez. Well, back to TikTok. So weird. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Appreciate the gifts. I genuinely, dude. Like, what is wrong with these people? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Um, we have a separate Discord. We have I have a separate Discord just for the, just because of that. Just because of that. So I don't want, yeah, yeah. We have a separate Dr. Greg debates Discord that's just for voice chat and YouTube and Twitch chat that they can join, and then yeah. So, what a loser, man. Okay. Well, I mean, with all this, yeah, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we yeah, it's not cool at all. It's honestly, yeah, it's incredibly infuriating for, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't get people, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Do 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 do. Cool. Boom. Look at that, guys. We got space now. We got space. I don't think you got any boosters, Ruben. I think that's one of your guys'. That's one of your guys. Yeah. Um. Okay, see you, Ness. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay. Well, okay. I was gonna go over. Let's go over. Dude, the video today was so crazy of Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about how Trump is a traitor. Did you guys see that? That was absolutely wild. Yeah, I am like shocked by it.
Traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. I was called
What?
a traitor.
Isn't that crazy?
By a man that I fought 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men. But I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me.
I think they feel like there's not gonna be any. It's like a win-win, you know, for Republicans right now to just go with the flow on this. Yeah. It'd be wild to to see what they were actually like talking about, you know, behind closed doors kind of thing. She's up for everyone's. I mean, the House is constantly up for re-election, right? But she did try to go for Senate, and it didn't work. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. Yeah, he won't be around to support them in a few years, so let's hope they wake up. Yeah. I mean, they are basically arguing with one another to see who is, you know, more racist, more xenophobic, more, you know, Nazi. It's crazy. It's wild. I mean, yeah, he has been wrecking the market. Well, yeah, it all started with the tariff talk. He's tried to talk about tariffs again, which is just insane, dude. He started to talk about it again. It definitely looks like we're in a market correction moment. I mean, he's been good. I mean, other than the insane dip in April, it's been good since then. But it's the uncertainty. It's the problem isn't the markets so much as like the capital expenditure, and the amount of companies that are investing in the United States right now are low. So what's happening is that the stock market's doing good, but it's only because of like 7 companies. The other 493 of the S&P 500 are all down, year to date still. And just more and more money is all going to 7 companies while everything else in the economy kind of languishes. And that's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. Yeah. It's a big problem. Big problem. Oh, dang it. Yeah. Yeah, he's being bought by the highest bidder for sure. Dang it. I can't seem to. Bitcoin is doing really bad, yeah. I mean, risky assets in a time where people are. We'll see. If there's another rate cut, then it might be different. Not much, Ruben. Ruben's chilling. Just chilling. I've been trying to set up my stream a little bit. I know, how embarrassing. Oh, thank you, Ruben. Thank you for the gift, dude. Sunday's 60 Minutes on Trump and Bitcoin. I wanted to go. Let's see. Much needed market correction for home prices will happen. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, the number of foreclosures is higher, is very high right now. So I agree with you there. Yeah. There's going to be 1, maybe 2 more by the end of the year. And then up to like 4 next year. It's going to be crazy. That's the money that the Fed sets. So that's the money that the banks borrow at. So that means that lower rates there, lower funds, cheaper funds, means that more risky assets are usually like invested in. And then also it just has a down trickle effect on like increasing money into more risky investments. Bitcoin and the pardon. What do we need to consume to help with the immune system? A healthy diet, I would say. A well-balanced diet. Pretty simple. Let's see. Wow. Wearing a KN95 or an N95 mask protects you the best. Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good move. Let's go. Sorry guys, I just don't have that much plan. I'm kind of just tired. And I'm kind of just out of it. Oh, just if you watch this. It could be bedtime for sure. Yeah, maybe I just go to bed, guys. Maybe it's just like a night that I just kind of out of it. I'd like to go to jiu-jitsu tomorrow morning, so that'd be great. So just getting off a little earlier. Hey Meg, how's it going? It's either that or we watch this panel interview with Pod Save America. I've been like meaning to watch this, so I kind of like am curious about it. But it's an hour long, so maybe we watch some. I did, Hazel. Yeah. Oh no, it's all good, Meg. It's all good. It's all good. It's just a podcast network, Ruben. I was at a live where there was 18 people and we had 125,000 taps. Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane. That's like some bot stuff for sure. If you're up for a bit, I'm sure we'd all love to watch this. Yeah. How about we'll watch a little bit and see what they say, and we can pause like halfway through. You know what I mean? Boom. It's a good middle of the road solution. Deal. All right, here we go.
Wow. I'm John Lovett. We're live at Cricket Con. All right, he's got people. Everybody here has got people everywhere, you know?
We're in the Reagan building, baby. I've co-opted your ass.
Can't lose control just yet. In his 1992 convention speech, Bill Clinton, who is perfect, said of Republicans who were at the time angry about Murphy Brown being a single mom on television, if other politicians make you feel like you are not part of their family, come on and be part of ours. Republicans were the hall monitors, we were welcoming.
Yeah.
3 decades later, Trump found an audience among pretty apolitical comedians and media personalities and their fans who see Democrats as pious and scolding. The Democratic Party is widely reviled. A broad survey of working class voters described Democrats as, quote, woke, weak, and out of touch. Coming out of Tuesday, which was awesome.
This is 6 days ago. So this is 6 days ago. This is right after the election. Well, I mean, a week after, 10 days after.
Semaphores Dave.
Woke Sharia.
What? Yeah.
Woke Sharia, baby.
We're all living in Mumdanistan now. Semaphores Dave Weigel put it best in summarizing the exit polls. What do you think of the Democrats? They stink. Who did you vote for? As many Democrats as possible. So where do we go from here? Joining me, our streamer and political commentator, Hassan Piker. MS Now's Simone Sanders.
MS Now. MSNBC is now MS Now, guys.
And the co-host of The Five, Fox News' Jessica Tarlov.
Dude, I'm sure you guys...
Tim, I want to start with you, and I want to just concede that this is like a big topic, and it can be hard to tease out style from substance, strategy, ideology. But
I would not even. I'm not even kidding, dude. I would love to have Jessica Tarlow's job, dude. Just be the lone person on Fox and just get to rip into those guys every single day and have them paid me to do it. Like, oh my god. Oh, that'd be so nice. Yeah, she does a really good job at it, though. Yeah, she is very cool, very good. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of her job.
Let's start with that 2024 dynamic. You have Trump and his allies on Rogan and a whole bunch of apolitical shows and media. In hindsight, Democrats say, oh, we need Democrats that can go everywhere. They have to go everywhere just like Trump did. But then we look around and we say, well, who are the Democrats that can do that? And as a former Republican, as a pilgrim in an unholy land, who's gone from viewing Democrats being annoying as an asset to a liability, like, where is your head at?
Well, I was happy about the woke Sharia in New York, but you do have to remember that the CIA has taken over in Virginia across the river. So the deep state establishment is also on the rise.
Big tent.
Big tent. You know what? Love it. You guys are kind of annoying. And it is something.
Yeah, it's this. Trump didn't go everywhere as much as Republicans owned the media space and then blazed that area for him, and then that allowed him the ability to go there. He's definitely not like blazing that trail, but the misogyny and red pill content of like this style of podcasts and stuff basically allow them to exploit young men to feel vulnerable, and then Trump exploited that, and said, oh no, I understand what you guys are saying, I'll take advantage of it everywhere. I don't know. I just don't think that Trump was the trailblazer. It was people like, Andrew Tate and stuff that did that work basically, and people like Charlie Kirk, going to places, Ben Shapiro, going to places and showing that you can be proud of being a man and you don't have to be ashamed and all that kind of that idea. Yeah, Joe Rogan at the end, yeah. He definitely changed since COVID, for sure. Yeah, Trump used the Bro Dude podcast to reach young, vulnerable boys and men. Yeah. Kind of like told them that there was a problem. And men are... But the problem is that a lot of these guys coming out of high school are saying like, we don't need university, we don't need college in order to do well, and because of a dogmatic view on politics, which is hilarious considering that rich people send their kids to universities all the time, and they're saying that, oh, I don't need universities and I'm going to do trades instead. And the problem is that like it's like men are shunning education and to own women. You know what I mean? Hi, Noble Sharon. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like how MAGA doesn't take the vaccines and dies at 10 times their rate of vaccinated people to own the libs. They die at 10 times the rate in order to own the libs. The guys are becoming uneducated to own the women because the women are like, they've been shunned out of, patriarchal structures, as in, like institutions of higher learning and that kind of stuff for so long that now they're using this structure, right? They're using this structure in order to climb their way out and actually get educational attainment. And now women are going to school at higher rates at every point, right? They're graduating high school at better rates. They're going to college at higher rates. They're graduating high school at higher rates. They're going to grad school at higher rates. And men are kind of left looking at that and being like, well, I don't need that, and I don't need those institutions of higher learning. And it's like, that's not what you do. That's not the response that you want to do. You want to go as in, hey guys, we need more men to be stepping up and being educated, as educated as possible, not less. So now all of these, yeah, Morgan, unironically, yeah, it is crazy. A lot of people do see it that way. Yeah. Exactly, Heather. Yeah, men are now blaming the hostile heterosexual dating realm as the women's fault. Yeah, well, because there's more women now that don't see men as necessary in their lives, and that's a good thing, right? You want to be with someone that wants to be with you, that doesn't feel forced to be with you. Imagine having a partner that really wants to share their lives with you and doesn't feel forced in doing so. Imagine, wow, what a thing. I mean, the real point is to build yourself up and look inward and become a better person so that you can have someone else that you both can grow and be better people because you're together. I know this is a weird, it's true, but you can do it. It is it is possible. Bear, it's also harder media for parents to monitor, which makes these crazy theories. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the podcasts are tough. You have to build you. Yeah, Harmony, exactly. You have to build you. You have to look inward. But the problem is too many guys are why they're saying, I'm going to blame others. I'm going to blame women. I'm going to blame academia. I'm going to blame, whatever it is. And here we are. Here we are because of it. Okay. I'm sorry, Aladdin. I'm sorry to hear about that, man. I used to put up with so much shit from men. I'm sorry about that, Jen. Yeah, like Scott Galloway. Scott Galloway has great points, man. Scott Galloway really talks a lot of sense about, men looking out for one another, mentoring young kids and showing like what masculinity is, as opposed to these guys, which is like antithetical to what it is, right? 3 legs of masculinity: protect, provide, and procreate. Yeah, Hazel, that exactly. So protect, right? That's what we're talking about a lot. How, trying to, protect people and bring people up, and yeah, I think that's important. Yeah, Heather, I know what you mean. Okay, let's keep going. We're
something that we're dealing with, and I think that it's important to just accept it and think about it. And the fundamental question that you got to, which was, okay, well, we need a Rogan of our own, or we got to be able to go hang out with these, folks. We got to be appealing more to the comedian set. And then it's like, well, who would go on the podcast? And then it's like, well,
not me.
Are you available? Are you? Like the list is kind of short, right? And so, we can't create people from scratch, but I think that it's important, when I look back at the mistakes the Democrats made that got us to this place, it's like, Biden wins in 20 when everybody's inside, right? So you didn't have to be out there. And then in 22, it's like, well, we didn't have a red wave. So it's like things are going pretty well, right? And so I just think that there was a lot of just inertia and status quo happening. And a lot of the problems that were undergirding that, a lot of things people were frustrated with about COVID or about the not as fun parts of woke Sharia, right? Like, there wasn't a lot of reflection on that, and I think that it's good to reflect on it now, and I think that Tuesday was awesome, but just because we did really well on Tuesday, because Trump is fucking everything up, does not mean that we shouldn't also, think about how we can continue to kind of expand out and appeal to more people.
Simone.
Yeah, guys, if there's anyone that feels left out of no, he's not in Vice, he's from the Bulwark. Yeah, I think that people feeling left and pushed out and castigated from society is bad. For whoever they are. Unless they're toxic and reprehensible, if it's just an immutable characteristic, that's never a good thing, right? If men feel pushed out just because they're men, then that's not a good thing either, right? If you have reprehensible views, then we can kind of say, hey, these views are not okay. You can't. These are kind of not what we have in our society. That's okay. We can't be so open-minded that we bring in those reprehensible views. They have to have some type of moment where it's yeah, I did mess up. I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, exactly, Jen. Yeah, misandry.
It seems like Democrats are often in a trap, which is Trump or one of his acolytes does something genuinely offensive, whether it's attacking or undermining a democratic institution or going after a vulnerable group of people, and Democrats want to defend those people, right? But then at times, sometimes they seem like they're writing their own version of the Federalist Papers. Or they are doing what is then described as identity politics. And so how do you fight back against Trump when he's attacking people, when he's making an issue of marginalized groups, without then being seen by a broader group of being focused less on, say, the economy? How do you square that circle?
Well, I'm from North Omaha, Nebraska. Shout out to the Midwest people in the room. Yes, there are black people. There are black people in Nebraska all over this country, maybe not North Dakota. And so I say that because earlier this summer, a black man who is a Democrat unseated a 3-term Republican mayor in Omaha, Nebraska. And we can clap for that. His name is John Ewing. And John Ewing, I grew up knowing John Ewing. I know him very well. But in that race, like in many other races across this country that have happened since 2024, one of the issues that the Republican candidate tried to pull to the forefront were bathrooms and trans issues. And what John Ewing's answer was? Well, first of all, he had an answer. He put up an ad to answer the attacks, which I think is really important. You cannot let attacks go. You cannot allow your opponent, as a former strategist, you cannot have your opponent defining you and you not answering. So that's part of it. I think specifically coming out of 2024, a lot of candidates.
That's so tough, man. That is so tough. Then why not hurl and create a bunch of stuff for them? I don't know. It's just the problem is that they're not going to necessarily believe you, right? They're not going to, they don't live in the same reality that you live in. So it's not, your fact checking isn't going to land for them. So that's the problem. It's really not saying that you're that person. It's about like proving that you're that person, right? That you are creating a different reality than what they say you are, right? That's the big point.
Did not answer the attacks. And some people were just like, oh, no, that's not me. And it's like, well, who are you? But John Ewing put up ads and went out there and did speeches and was on the streets talking to folks
You can't. Hi, Altered. You can't. What the problem a lot of this is that you can't be afraid in politics. You can't be afraid and like coward in your response and in elections. So like, for example, you think Gavin Newsom is giving off like afraid energy, like he's afraid of MAGA right now? Like, no, dude, no, not at all. Any of his attacks, he parries with it and he makes fun of them about it, and he goes on about it. Like the idea that like, oh God, don't say anything about me now, I need to respond about it. Don't, oh my God, okay, don't say anything. Okay, yeah, don't you say this, I'm gonna respond to this. I can't, that gives like very nervous energy, and so much of our politics right now is about vibes. It's about feelings. It's about how you deal with scenarios. It's about what you do in response to it. You can't give off nervous energy. You have to be strong. You have to know who you are. You can't let these people define you. So I definitely, I don't know if I agree with, I'll finish what she's saying, but yeah, I don't think that you should let someone else's disinformation define you, because you can't respond to it all. You can't let that other person dictate what you're going to do as a candidate. What you can do is be positive, upbeat. Zoran Mamdani did a great job of this. He's positive, he's upbeat, he has a vision of the future. He has like what he wants to do with his policies. He's really good on TikToks and short form content, so he looks relatable, and he's not being pushed off his message. Does Bernie care that people are calling him a communist? Is he? Oh God! I gotta put out a thing right now. I can't let people this be out there that long. Like, no, of course not, dude. No, of course not. Like, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, guys. Yep, Hazel, I agree.
interviews and whatnot and campaigning and saying she's doing this because she don't want to talk about the potholes. She doesn't want to talk about the issues that are affecting you. She's want to make up this issue that I'm not talking about. She doesn't want to talk about the potholes. And so I think the answer is not to run away from the confrontation. Like, you're not about to make me, as I used to always tell candidates, don't allow these folks, anybody, any of your opponents, to make you believe that you're for an issue that you've never taken up. Like, I don't know what the hesitancy is from some of the campaigns and the strategists over the last, couple of cycles to just not be clear about what folks are for and what they're not for. Because in 2024, that they-them ad was seen everywhere. And Black people in Philadelphia told me, the organizers in Philadelphia said that everybody had saw that ad and there was no counter, and they believed it.
No, see, she's exactly wrong. Again, dang. Okay. That ad was effective because people had seen in their social media feeds 1,000 times these disinformation and these clips that about trans people, right? So in their social media feeds, in their reality, right, they are seeing this stuff constantly. They're seeing they're seeing xenophobia, right, with othering of people, right, immigrants and of trans people, and they're seeing that constantly. And then now the they them ad comes out. What happens? They say, oh my God, why isn't any politician talking about this other than Trump? It's everywhere. She's constantly talking about trans people every speech. She's not. That was completely fake. She's saying that constantly, and no other politician is talking about it except for Trump. Trump is saying truth to power here. Wow, how brave of Trump, right? So if the they them ad runs without the disinformation network, it goes nowhere because she's not talking about it. She never on some speeches talked about trans people. She was never talking about it. So there wouldn't be anything to strike. There would be no instrument in order to play. You know what I mean? They played that instrument that was built by disinformation. So the disinformation came first, and then now the they them ad comes that exploits that. And now Trump is the truth sayer, when in reality he is just amplifying disinformation networks. So this is what I'm saying, like, social media algorithms control the reality in which people live. So if you want to take back reality, you have to take back the social media algorithms. That is like the main thing that we need to regulate, and we need to figure out how we can create some type of safeguard against, because there's just no way that someone, if it wasn't the they them ad, it would have been something else, right? That would have taken advantage of that disinformation. But she's getting the order mixed up here.
So I do think that, I don't think Democrats need to do a wholesale, like, you need a full brand rebrand, because I think, frankly, the Democratic Party brand, it might never be popular. But what may be, and that's okay, because what you need are candidates who people like and they want to vote for and who they believe in. And if the brand is popular or not, I think that Democrats need to be less concerned about rehabilitating the brand of the Democratic Party apparatus and more concerned about running candidates that are close to the issues in the districts and places that they're trying to win.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Tim don't agree. Tim don't agree.
I know. I mean, the brand is.
The brand is
cooked. I agree with
but
that.
The brand was poo-poo.
Guys, it's cooked. I mean, it is. If you were like a marketer, if you were a marketer, oh, thank you, user. If you were a marketer, man, you would rebrand whatever company this is. Like the Blackwater logo would be out of here. The point is, you'd be renaming it to Z or whatever they did. And they've shown this with generic Democrats, just same issue, but you just run them as independents in some counties, and instantly you go up like 10 points. And like, this is important, guys. Like, it really is important for like rural states and stuff in order to actually get, you need a path to 270, basically, right? It's all about the Electoral College, and it's all about winning the presidencies now. So you have to get a path to 270, and we are running out of paths, basically. If we can't go the northern strategy with Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, it really narrows it down, and we can't go Ohio anymore. Florida is no longer purple. There's very, very few areas now that are paths forward. So you need Democrats in order to win in places. So you need Democrats to just win spots. Hi, Cedar. You need Democrats to win elections in counties all throughout the country, right? And maybe that Democrat will look different, right, in one place versus the other. But the idea being that Democrats can just have a vision of a country that is better in some way. How that betterment is, like what actually happens, that is what needs to actually happen. That is the vision that needs to be sussed out. Because the Democrats have no brand, because they have no vision, right? So that's the biggest problem. It's there's no utopian vision of what the Democrats will do. You know, there's no idea that people are fighting for. So it's that therefore it is toxic.
And people voted for Democrats anyway. Yeah, so to me, that says people are willing to support candidates even if they think your brand is shitty.
Well, I think that
I don't know.
I think that's important.
I think you're right. We don't have a leader, but we also don't have a set of like policies that will get us there. You know, like I think like it can't be just using policies that work in other countries to get us there. You know, like the worst argument that people make is, oh, it works in Scandinavia, so now therefore we should make Scandinavia policies here. That I hate when Bernie does that. That is such a bad political argument. That is so dumb. This is American politics. You have to have your vision rooted in an American story. Like that it makes no sense to be like, like living in Scandinavia is great. Like who cares? Who has lived in Scandinavia that's voting in American politics? Like tell me what the vision is of living in your country, right? If you get sick, you're not going to go bankrupt. You know, like you have to give the end. You have to, how you get there is like whatever. It's about like the end goal, right? This is what's happening once you've done the thing. Okay, so right now we need Medicare for all, single payer private provider. Okay, that's what we're going for. In reality, people are like, what's that? What's Medicare for all? What does that mean? What does that get me? Versus everyone gets the treatments that you pay for, that you want, that you don't have to pay for. Like healthcare is free at the point of sale. You have free healthcare when you go to the doctor. You can get everything that you need to be done at the doctor's office done without actually having to worry about who's going to pay for it. You get the treatments that you want and you deserve. You know, like that is the idea. And then how you get there, that is what the whole point of democracy is, because you push that envelope with the people that are elected by the representatives. So it might look different, guys. You know, could you know, if we got the same benefits of healthcare being free at the point of sale versus, you know, whether or not it's Medicare for all or some other system or something like that, like would who, you know what I mean? Who cares? Right? We got the benefits of it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So it's like but too often the Democrats are all about like process, right? Here's my 300-page, you know, healthcare memorandum and all the things that we need to do, and there's 300 pages of healthcare policy. What? Like, what? Who cares? Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone like say that? I think saying cutting out insurance company is a great selling point. Baron, I agree, but again, that's what you would do. But how you sell it, okay? You sell it by you say, I'm going to cut out waste and fraud out of the healthcare system, decreasing the cost of healthcare by 30%. That's what you say, because that's the end, right? And then how you do that is like, yeah, we're going to get rid of healthcare insurance companies because they're just middlemen and they just take a profit off of everyone and they don't provide anything for anyone, so it doesn't make any sense to have them. And everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the vision. Exactly, Island. Yeah, you talk about the give me the utopian vision. You know, give me what it is.
Part of what I think the dynamic we see, right, which is, there was just a report that came out that said, oh, here's a set of policies that are broadly popular that the Democrats should embrace going into the midterms, and they're pretty moderate and sort of.
Oh, a bunch of these people that lost some races and had one recently put this report out.
Yeah, it was shocking. I for one was shocked when I saw that report. I was like, wow. So do the exact same thing that the Democrats have been doing.
It's not, again, no, that's not true. It's a lot of it is policies tailored. Guys, isn't it wild? Like when we read things and we have our own opinions about things, and we've like actually read the report that they're talking about. And we read through that. That was that 6 chapter thing that we read for over 6 nights, guys. That's exactly what they're talking about. Remember that? Who was here? Type 1 in the chat if you were here, and we were talking about those chapters, and we went over those graphs and stuff. Isn't that, dang man, that's amazing. They're talking about those policies that are like targeted to 65 plus. You know, like again, no vision for any of the reality that you're going to live in if you're going to pass that stuff. Like why would you, like what kind, like it was like Medicare negotiation for drug prices, Social Security loophole deductions, like all the, like 5 out of the 7 policies that they were saying to pass were for 65 years old and up. Like what vision is that? Oh, when you're 65, guys, when you're 65, we might be able to get you a marginally better health outcome and quality of life improvement. Are things that good in the United States that I don't have to worry about anything for the next 30 years? Think about it that way. Are things that good in the United States that I don't have to worry about healthcare or anything else for another 30 years? Like what? Come on. And this is the best that we have. That the report was, it's very lacking, dude. It's very this is the, there's not enough utopia. There's not enough outside the box thinking in the Democratic Party. There's not enough people that are genuinely trying to offer up solutions and paint a picture, right? And it's too much trying to pick and choose from other countries, not taking the American story and building on that patriotically and saying, hey, we can do this better, or we can fulfill this promise for the first time, or we can create, a new path forward of Americans so that Americans can do better, taking care of one another. There's so many different paths here, right? There's so many different paths. But like just focusing on end of life care, that's popular because everyone's going to be like, well, yeah, of course. I hope at 65 I can get cheap drugs. Like, yeah, of course, I guess. That's a popular thing. Like, okay. Is that going to get people to vote for you? Like, no. No. It's not going to get anyone to vote for you, but it's going to be a popular policy because who would say no to that? Again, it's just like stupid.
Cause them a sequence of failures. That's good. I like that.
I knew there was no way.
Moderate enough. That was what the issue was.
There was no way I was going to get to the end of that sentence. I don't even know why I considered starting it. But taken. But when I hear what you're saying there, when I see a report like that, I see
votes that age group vote more. Yes, Hazel, exactly. They vote. Yep. 65, it's insanity. I agree with his thought first. Yes, Hazel, you're right. I mean, they do vote more, right? They vote more, but then also younger people are gonna say yes to that because it's like a a vision of like, well, of course, and I'm gonna have something resembling that in the future sometime. Like, well, of course. So that's why I think that it's popular policy, and then also why it gets enacted so often, because 65-year-olds and up like do vote. Like, you're right. Exactly, Island. It is a lazy, and we're not using our best parts, guys. We're not voting we're not actually coming up with new ideas in the Democratic Party, because we're not utilizing technology and science in order to try to solve these problems. We're trying to look through the world and the globe and being like picking and choosing ideas versus like, hey, how can we use science and technology in order to solve the problems that we have today here? And maybe we could try them out at the city level, see what the impact is, go to the state level, see what those impacts are. Instead, it's just like everyone is all racing to the end of trying to put something at the national level. And it's too, policies then are like, need to be fleshed out, a lot more. You can't just like at the national level, so there's too many people, there's too much going on. You want it to be a major success. Whatever you do at the national level, it needs to be quick, and it needs to be done, especially with like a healthcare rollout or something like that. Like, we're talking like everyone needs to be involved in the next 6 months. Like Medicare, the original Medicare sign up was like a year. I think it was even less than that. They got everyone in the country all signed up like instantly. So, I mean, if they did that 50 years ago, 60, 70 years ago, we can do that now. And it has to be boom. Like, you can't have a botched rollout. You just can't. You have to do GTA 6 on it. You know what I mean? You gotta hold it back. You gotta hold it back, and then as soon as it's good, unrelenting, just everything changes. Everything's different now, and it's better. If you screw up the rollout, then everyone's gonna hate it.
See a group of people struggling against a brand that is in the toilet, and a bunch of people trying to win despite that, which is another way of saying we're in a ravine. Let's find.
I wouldn't even say that, Island. It's not even a brand strategist. It needs like engineers. It needs like ideas and science and technology and brand. And then once it has those ideas, then I agree with you, a brand strategist for real. Yeah. But like, what is the technology? What is the idea? What is the vision? And that needs to come from science and technology and these 21st century solutions, guys. Like, that's the thing, is like the solutions for America should be audacious and brave and cunning, just like we think we are as a country, right? They're not like a weak and feeble idea isn't what's going to get Americans, behind it.
Find the highest spot we can here in this trench that we're stuck in. But there's the reason I think this question is important, even if you're right, like people win despite disliking the Democratic Party, people hate Congress like their congressperson.
Exactly, exactly. What's the vision? What's the tools to achieve it? Exactly.
Democrats are broadly popular. So,
how many gummies you take before coming out here?
So, which brings me to Jessica. I'll reveal something to all of you.
Yes, Hazel, exactly.
Which is, John, Tommy, and I share an office perfectly. And we often, if not more often than not now, switch over to Fox News during the day. And we do because we want to see what's happening over there. But also, it's entertaining. It is. They're having fun over there.
True story.
And Jessica, I want you to talk about like what it is like to be in that environment, because part of what is so fun is their just collective appreciation and shared view of Democrats, which is that they're kind of feckless and funny and ridiculous.
they definitely enjoy that part of it. And I'm so glad that this conference is this week and not last week, because we'd all just be sitting around crying and looking at that memo and saying, well, you know, this is 57% popular, so I think we should go with that. But now we have some wins, and we have this diverse set of wins, so I have had a way better couple of days.
Yeah, they've been almost circumspect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes. They got a little rowdy, too. But, you know, you can't dispute results like that. You can't dispute a Mamdani win and a Spanberger win and whatever happened in the Mississippi State House. And I'm obsessed with whatever a public commissioner is in Georgia. That, you know, I still don't know.
When nobody shows up to vote, we win.
Yeah. No, people.
It's important to remember.
But the
Tim Miller's so
the
good.
joy is important to the formula that makes Fox so appealing as a set of programs to watch. And I think about it in context of the joy campaign of 2024 that was not, right? We were being told all the time, like, you're having so much fun. Like, Brat Summer feels great. And I did feel great at the DNC because I thought that was the moment of, like, maybe we have a chance. But it was fleeting, and it's always on our side. I think since the 2016 election, it feels like it's forced upon us versus it's coming from within. There may be individual candidates that we're into. I've gotten super excited about people, you know, down ballot all over the place, or, you know, I love Ruben Gallego. Like, that's always fun for me to talk about. But because we have this kind of uniform policy.
Right, Science Under Siege? Is that what you're talking about? The Michael Mann and Peter Hota's book? Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, bare necessity.
Stay in line. It's joyless because you can't feel free to criticize somebody that you disagree with, or, you know, you're going to get scolded by this person and that person. And the Republicans, generally speaking, live free of that amongst themselves. I mean, criticizing Trump is a whole other thing, but they go about their business in a way that we don't, and that I think that we're adapting to, in at least based on these election results. And Fox captures that there are people who have kind of like a shared core set of values maybe, but they're not taking themselves that seriously. They're not, like, scolding each other. Like, it also matters in the quality of the programming. It looks great. Our graphics are beautiful. Our lighting is fantastic. Are you making a face?
Look, I'm your Fedayeen. I'm your biggest diehard fan, okay? But no, I don't think the Fox News graphics are beautiful. Look, I respect what you do, especially because if I had to sit next to Jesse Waters and Greg Buttfeld the entire time, I would kill myself. And the fact that you have been able to successfully sit in that room every day and just white knuckle through Jesse Waters' snide-ass remarks is impressive. It is.
Concur.
Thank you. And it is nice to be amongst my people, which I'm
I don't think so, guys. I don't think, like, just, like, I don't think you want to be spending most of your time listening to people that you agree with. Like, most of my time is spending and watching crazy right-wingers and stuff that I don't agree with at all. You know, just like sitting, like, so the idea that someone, this is one of the reasons why, like, people come on here and I'm not that surprised, you know, like, when people believe something like that. You know, I think that it's good to genuinely, like, inoculate, not so much like inoculate, but, like, really deal with, like, what people are believing and why they believe it. And so the idea of, like, just sitting next to someone that has this different belief, like, oh my gosh, you're so brave. It's like, is that right? Is that means that's kind of like a self own. That's him saying that I don't really listen to people that I don't agree with a lot, and I don't surround myself with people that are contentious or something like that. You know, I think that it's okay to do that. Yeah, Fox News is irrelevant now. You know, I do listen to a lot of these like bro podcasts and stuff, you know, and I will like, you know, watch their highlights and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It is weird. Maybe that's just me. You know, I mean, everyone has to do their own thing. But for me, that's my thing. But it shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, you're so brave for doing that. You know what I mean? I know, and they are Night Flyer, and I don't like it when I listen to it, which is what allows me to know and better myself when I do get to it. HC Cali, you're incredible. Guys, give it up for HC Cali. I know. Yeah. I agree. Heather, I agree. 665. HC Cali in 3, 2, 1. Guys, HC Cali went to action.drgregshow.com. We are combating this 423 bills currently in the states trying to be passed. They're trying to ban free vaccine programs. They're trying to ban mRNA vaccines that are shown to be anti-cancerous or help prevent cancer. Lots of different things. They're trying to label mRNA vaccines as bioweapons, and we're all trying to stop it. So go to action.drgregshow.com. We have call templates, email templates. Just make it. It's an easy copy and paste. Check it out. Yeah, KC. Like, it's a thing. Like, I don't know. It's hard. Like, I can only speak for myself. You know what I mean? What I like to do. But I think that's why I like to do it, because it's just like going into weird spaces. I don't know. But I think that obviously like self-care and stuff like that is like really important. I don't think that if you're a trans person, you should be hanging out with people or listening to a bunch of anti-trans, like, you know, podcasts that are telling you that you don't exist. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there is like viewer discretion advised. So it is you know, I can totally understand why people don't want to do it. So anyway, I just wanted to just throw that out there.
Usually not like cautiously weaving through here, but my point in bringing it up, and you don't have to love our graphics, even though they're copied in every movie and things like that. It's like the official look of it. But
they're incredible. The production value on Fox is incredible.
But even when
the PR people love Jessica, she is a favorite of the Fox PR folks.
But nothing is taken that seriously. And that's not the case in liberal media. And that doesn't mean you're not talking about serious things, but there's this feeling like it is not the end of the world in every topic that you're discussing. And this idea that we can just go and show up in conservative spaces or, you know, come for an hour and you have to be open to those kinds of things, like, doesn't capture how hard it is for people who vote like me and some of the things that I think to genuinely form bonds and interact on an ongoing basis with people who you disagree with. An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours is not getting to know the other side. Living amongst them and spending time with them is. And I think that's why I'm able to do my job and have a reasonable therapy bill, like not insane, but, you know, we know each other like the family that it looks like, which is dysfunctional, but it's still a family. And people who watch the show, and, you know, we have 20% Democratic viewership. like still get that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she's
Sorry,
right.
I know it's not maybe not the answer you guys
Like-
wanted, but
Actually,
guys, I think like the best thing that Democrats could do in order to win elections is like do sports teams, you know, like do social groups where it's like, a bunch of people that are just, they're not there because of whatever, they're just there as a social group, or, you're just there for socializing, and you get to get in contact with a lot of different people, and you get to see and meet people from a lot of different things. Like genuinely, I think like for me, it's like my jujitsu gym. My kids are doing sports teams, and they're meeting people outside of their their school, which is good. That's about parasocial relationships, maybe. Yeah. Lefty bar crawls with the party bus. No, but I guess is it? I mean, yeah, I would just cautious, like only hanging out with politically, ideologically, and associated groups. You know what I mean? That would just that would be my caution. But like, I mean, but if you want to go hang out with and do journal club with a bunch of DSA members, your local DSA or something, then it's like, go for it, for sure. That's cool. Like that, there's nothing bad against that, but just know that it's kind of might not be correlative to, the rest of the world, but maybe that's the nice thing, right? Maybe that is something that you can kind of like, take pride in, that you have this group of people that really understand you better, but then, your broader group that you're socializing with is kind of more reflective of what people actually believe. Oh yeah, Heather. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, a lot of it is like people wanting respite from that, but I genuinely do think, getting out and just like meeting people is a good thing.
You're not getting a lot of claps because you're defending Fox News in this room.
Well, I think, let me speak. I want to talk to Hassan.
She's not defending Fox News.
About what you just said, but before
she's not defending Fox News. She's just defending the idea that, like, guys, the whole idea of class consciousness is the idea that you have exploited people, okay, that are all being taken advantage of by the capital owning class, the billionaires, and we, as they call it, the proletariat, understand and can lock arms in order to try to fight this capital owning class. That's going to be a lot of different types of people. You're not going to be able to form a political revolution of all the people that know about class consciousness. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to have all those types of people be the majority that you need in order to win elections. It necessitates changing minds. It necessitates getting and reaching out to people. Like that's the hard work of coalition building and creating like a network and like imagine now, and don't even think about like a political revolution or whatever, a national political revolution. Think about unionizing your workplace against the boss. That's going to be a lot of people having a lot of conversations with people that have completely different views on what a union should be, right? But you are politically organizing in order to share that vision of what it would be like if you unionized your workplace. That is the hard work that needs to be done, right? That is like building that class consciousness is exactly that. And I think that is why we don't have any class consciousness in the United States, because people are so individualistic that they're not willing to do that hard work and try to reach out to people. Is she saying that they are human beings too? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Barry. I mean, yeah. I mean, humans are a whole swath, you know? Yeah, Island, exactly. The top is aware, so we make sure to keeping our spears pointing at each other so we don't aim up. Yeah, exactly.
I heard something from the crowd, and I think it reflects what they're feeling, which is, well, they're not taking it seriously because these are people that aren't appreciating the consequences or are ignoring or telling themselves a story about the consequences. And I know you know that. But that's a challenge for the left. I think sometimes we are seen as upset or scolding because we're motivated by like a deep set of values. And when you watch Fox, there's a frivolousness to it, but maybe that's a kind of carelessness about what's happening to the country.
I totally agree with you about certain issues, absolutely, and I make that very clear, and they can make fun of me or whatever, but elections have consequences, and we saw on Tuesday night that the American public sees through it. That's the point. Like, people get all hot and bothered about how conservatives are reacting to certain things and that they're being dismissive, but they are the ones that think the American public is stupid. And we're the ones who know that they can see what's going on. So whether you get 90 seconds of talk time or you get to talk for hours a day on your podcasts or on your live stream, all the things for Hassan, like, they're the ones that are doubting people's capacity to understand. And so I get what you're saying, and I feel it, and sometimes I don't like being made fun of sometimes for being upset about American citizens taken into ICE detention and not getting to call their loved ones. But Tuesday night, people showed up all over the country and said, fuck off. That is unacceptable.
This episode is brought to you by Blinds.com. The holidays come fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. I mean, Republicans are just not serious people. You know, they aren't serious about their policies. They're not serious about governing. They're not serious about the role that government should play in your life. Absolutely. I mean, they aren't serious. I think that you combat that, though, by, like, making fun of authoritarians, right? You can combat that with like comedy and like and take that ball and be like, okay, yeah, we can not be serious, but we can not be serious about the fact that Trump thinks that he is like this authoritarian leader. We can take the piss out of him. You know, we're not. The problem is that Republicans make fun of each other, like the citizens, and I think that Democrats could make fun of the political elite. Right, that or the capital owning class or the billionaires or whatever like that. You know, that is okay, and I think that's where we should. And that, by the way, is how you defeat fascism, is by literally taking out their resolve and their inflated egos. Right, I think that's the idea. Like, you can have fun, but you have to poke fun at the right people. And Republicans will make fun of the disadvantaged, the minorities, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Jork, exactly. Do not comply in advance. Exactly.
Back in town. We're just trying to stay sane with a house full of relatives. How you feel the next morning still matters. That's why first gendered byproducts. Yeah. Down this it's crooked.
I got applause.
Hassan hasn't gone 17 minutes without talking since 2014.
The stage is vibrating, and I'm sorry it took this long to get to the fact that what we saw in New York on Tuesday in many ways feels like an antidote to some of this problem. You know, Zohran Mamdani is having fun out there, and he's also representing a incredibly enthusiastic.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too. It's not about having. It's not about being. Again, it's. Fox News, when she's talking about that energy, was exactly what I was talking about before. They're not afraid, right? They're not anxious. It's not anxious energy. You know, that type of like not taking it seriously and having jokes, having fun. They're not afraid, right? And that's the key. That's what Mamdani did so well. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of Cuomo. He's not afraid of all the Democrats are all against him and all. No, not afraid. Doesn't care. They'll take them all on. Doesn't matter. You know, that's the right energy. It's not joking about things that care that matter a lot and not caring about them. Right? It's about not being afraid, being committed to your cause and going forward. That's the problem. That's the main rub.
Classic based
Exactly,
people who are
Island.
finding
Yeah.
community in being part of politics. And that does seem like something now that is more easily formed on the left. I can think of all the candidates and campaigns that have been left-driven, that have built that energy and enthusiasm and sense of fun. Brad Summer was an exception. There was a moment where, look, we can all look back and be like, I went full Brad.
I mean, I was there.
We were, yeah.
Dude, Kamala did great. Again, this is so revisionist. It's so ridiculous. Like, she was not afraid of Trump. And she did great. She stood up against him, and she was having some great stuff. Like, Walls had that whole thing, and it characterized him so well that MAGA is really weird. They're really weird people. That was amazing. It was like a complete, you know, Empress has no closed moment. And like she was awesome coming out, and she did a great job. You know, it is like I'm sorry guys. Like I'm telling you that I was more happy to have Kamala as the DNC person than I was for Biden, even though I love Biden, you know, as a president, thought he was a great president. I was way more excited for Kamala than Hillary Clinton. I was way more excited to have her as the president of the DNC person than John Kerry. So she's only second to Barack Obama in my mind. So she's the second best candidate that the Democrats have ever pushed out. And I have to be ashamed of her? What? Why? Huh? Who? Oh, because she didn't win, and now we were going to revisionist like, oh man, that was a weird campaign. She did such a bad job. Like, no, she did great. No. Like, exactly, Heather. Yeah, she would have been an amazing president. It's like this whole thing. I hate how revisionist people get.
No, and as someone who was there to the DNC before I got kicked out, but on the last day, I actually found myself feeling a sense of anxiety over the course of every single day that passed, where I was like, why is everybody just like celebrating like we're at the end zone here when it is not a guarantee that Kamala Harris is going to win? And I kept...
Who was that? Who did that? Who celebrated? Who did that? Who did that?
Warning over and over again that there were...
She was in a statistical like dead heat. It was like the polls were like within margin of error the entire time. Like who was popping champagnes, even at the DNC? Like not even close, dude. People were excited to have a candidate that they liked. Like what's wrong with that? This is such a weird take. It is so weird. I'm sorry. Like, this is just so wrong.
A lot of unaddressed issues that the Democrats just kind of never wanted to acknowledge at all. And
Can we not just be excited we had somebody who could talk, though?
Yes.
We just have had 1 week. We were excited for a week.
Like, come on, dude. Like, she was a great candidate. Like, this is so, it's just like such the nihilist point. So frustrating. Oh, Miss Cake, who isn't? Well, I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Because she could talk.
but
So that was
I think
great. So just give us a break.
No, but
Island, is the simple truth that the nation is not ready for a woman president? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I hope so. I would hope so. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, it would be tough to continue. And I feel like it's bad to continuously, it's not like we had a choice, like to continuously like run women until they won, but you know what I mean? It would be like almost unfair but I think that if the woman's the best, you know, candidate, then go for sure run a woman, you know, like, but do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want, like, let's just keep running women until we defeat misogyny. Like, I don't think that's the tact, but there's a ton of really qualified women, you know, governors, you know, that are in the executive role. That would be tough. That would be going. Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. I genuinely don't think that Kamala lost because of misogyny, though. I really don't. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Hillary Clinton was, for sure, a loss because of, like, that he had a huge role. But I don't think that I don't think Kamala did.
The excitement that came into the DNC was actually because for some reason, right? And the reason is because people finally realized Joe Biden was, you know, his brain was leaking out of his ear. I'm sorry. and for that reason, I know there's probably a lot of Democratic Party staffers in here. They're going to get really pissed off for me for saying this, but it almost felt like we had a competent party for once, and they were responsive to the people's needs. And that's the reason why everyone was excited. I was excited. When I saw Kamala Harris choose Tim Walz, when she could have just as easily gone with Josh Shapiro, for example, I was like, oh my God, is this happening? Is there like an actual progressive momentum backing this candidacy, backing this campaign? And then they backpocketed him. And Kamala Harris went from saying that she was going to do price control.
They literally did everything together. They did nonstop campaigning. Backpocketed him. Like, what does that even mean? Like what? How does that make sense? I don't believe that at all. Tim Walz was out there constantly. They weren't stymieing him.
Trolls. And she actually very decently messaged around.
Brittany, that is true. Yeah, I think he means that they quieted him. No more weird talk. I do agree, Brittany. That is a good point. That apparently the Kamala campaign did say that the weird thing was too much. You know, so that was, I think that was a huge tactical error. I think he would like hit a vein on them. That was incredible. And it was a really good idea. So I think that was a really bad idea, but that's not like, that's, I know. Yeah. But just that alone, he was out everywhere. He was constantly giving speeches. I mean, he was totally involved in the campaign.
That by saying we're just going to go after price gougers, right, at the grocery store, which was her most popular policy at the time, and directly addressed one of the main economic anxieties that people were experiencing. And then, lo and behold, her brother-in-law, who's head of legal at Uber, came on and was like, cut this economic populism shit out. And then you had $50,000 in tax credits for small business owners, and that was not addressing the problems that people were experiencing. And I think that we have to do the honest autopsy of this.
Dude, what are you talking about? She was giving house down payment money. She was going to give credit for people to make a house down payment. She was going to do a child tax credit. She was going to give like so much benefit to people. Like what? How does buying your own home sound? Like, what are you talking about? Some small business, and that's a good idea too. Small businesses are really in need. That is the best thing that Democrats Party could champion, by the way, is small business, because they're local, their jobs stay local, and yeah, I mean this just I don't agree with this at all. By the way, the biggest small business policy proposal by the Democrats is the biggest small business policy proposal from the Democrats is by far Medicare for all, by far, because these businesses wouldn't have to pay for healthcare now on their payroll, and they could just spend money on their company as opposed to having to buy healthcare for people. So again, it helps. Hey, let's give your small businesses in your area 30% more money to spend on business expansion, economic development, new product lines. And then on top of that, in order to facilitate that, let's give them even more money through credits. Like how is that a bad idea? That is economic populism, because you are literally creating competition against the billionaire class, right? Against their companies. And you're giving competition that would directly compete against them in that market. Like, don't run away from that. It's not scary.
This campaign and realize that maybe people were excited for the progressive momentum that
Hazel, I just don't think that the people know what democratic socialism is. I think that it's just what they're talking about is that they just want to get more for their money from their government. That's it. That's literally all it is that there needs to be like some reciprocity for the money that they spend for taxes, and they don't get anything out of it. So they want healthcare, they want child tax credits, or not tax credit, but health babysitting, basically, that kind of thing. Socially liberally economic conservatives aren't the left. Yeah, that's not economic conservatism. Yeah, it's not economic conservatism. Like health, like there's in left-wing governments, there's a majority small businesses, because you would break up the big business and then you would make them smaller and compete in markets. So that's not conservative. Or right wing. It's certainly not social democracy that many Democratic or Harvard. What else are you going to do? Are you going to nationalize programs? Are you talking about nationalizing these industries? You think you want to nationalize mortgages? The right plays semantics very effectively with the terms democratic social. Yeah, it's exhausting. Nobody knows what those mean, and they people throw them around. It's exhausting. Like, nobody's talking about the democratic ownership of the means of production. Okay, it's not. It's not. And then people want to gatekeep these terms when it's like, bro, you're not even talking about it yourself. Like, what are you talking about? So it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
We have to do the honest autopsy of this campaign and realize that maybe people were excited for the progressive momentum that they perceived the campaign actually was going to have, and the responsiveness that the party finally had to the people's desires, to the base of voters' desires. But then they kind of just threw that into the wind and just kept pumping Liz Cheney and refused to talk about.
Sorry for wanting to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Liz Cheney.
So Liz Cheney actually felt like that there was something at loss. I feel like Liz Cheney was actually out there. I feel like there was actually something to lose. I was the one that was like, why aren't we going crazier? Why aren't more people like going insane here? Like, I couldn't understand the complacency. Why everyone was like not freaking out. That was my frustration. So I felt like Liz Cheney was freaking out, and like, thank you. Like, someone was actually like trying to do something different. Like, holy shit, man. I was blown away by like the hyper normalization of it all. I agree with you, Maria. I mean, the point is she's kind of like a pariah on the right, you know. So it's not like a good person to bring about, but it's not like anyone else was doing anything dramatically different, though. That's the problem. Like, it was just a hyper normalization of the politics of that election, as opposed to, holy shit, guys, we need to like coalition build. We need to build a popular front here, or our entire fucking government is going to go fascist in a second. I feel like she was actually saying that message, right? That she was the one that was actually saying that. So it's wild. It's wild to me.
Can I just do one thing on the honest autopsy, though? Because here, I actually, we can find some common ground on the economic populist stuff. I think that Kamala should have probably, in retrospect, obviously, had a more tangible message on economic populism. My problem with the walls thing, though, is that that relates to the topic of this panel, is that I think if we're having an honest autopsy and looking back at the campaign, there were a lot of liberals that live on the coast that were like, whoa, this dude can change a carburetor, and I can put on a camo hat. Like, he's going to really, that guy is really going to connect with rural America, because he seems like a guy that really connects with rural America. And people who like grew up in rural America who lived in red spaces are like, no, like, that is the guy who was the PFLAG teacher at the rural high school. And by the way, being the PFLAG sponsor at a rural high school is awesome. That's a great thing to be. Everybody loves that. That's great. But like, everybody who's from that world did not look at him and say, you code conservative, or like, you have conservative values like me. They coded him, it's like, oh, you're the nice liberal at the school, right? And so I think that if we're gonna have an honest reflection on the last campaign, the economic populism stuff was a miss for sure, but being seen as being to the cultural left and being out of step with the country culturally on a wide variety of issues, whether it be social issues or COVID or free speech or just being able to chill on comedians' podcasts, like, that was a miss, and it was and people misunderstood what Tim Walz was bringing to the table, because he was not able to do any of that.
Yeah, I think the cultural stuff is.
Tim's 100% right there. Island, I agree. I mean, it's just kind of like a. Why don't people like Dems? I don't know. I mean, that's what this whole panel is about. So it's weird. I don't know. I mean, I agree. I agree with. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, Tim Walz was basically there to get people like Hassan to support Kamala Harris, and he didn't. So it's like the problem is that, you know, it backfired, and that even the guy that Hassan is supporting here, Hassan didn't like support him and Kamala at the end of the day. So he's kind of like proving himself wrong here. He was talking about how awesome he is, but he's the one that didn't wind up voting for him at the end of the day. Yeah, exactly, Miss Cake. Good God, I'll take a less bad repub. Dude, the problem is that it wasn't like, I would have like probably gone in more on the moral failings of Trump maybe in 2024. Hassan is no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He plays it coy, like he doesn't. No, I mean, he's alluded that he has and that he hasn't, and he doesn't answer the question, and he tries to play it coy, like, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, and I'm not going to, you know, vote one way, and that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly, Charity. It's the problem is like encouraging third party voting in, you know, in California, you know, third party vote, dude. You know, in purple and if you're in a solid blue state, like, go ahead, like, figure it out. You know, you could, you know, protest vote. You know, the problem with that is that gives, especially with the platform that Hassan has, it gives people on the fringes the ability to be like, yeah, maybe I can do it too, you know, and then it makes a big impact. If we're talking about like 20,000 votes in Michigan and stuff, like having an impact, then it's like, you know, his you know, what he's doing has an impact. Hassan's basically the biggest left-leaning political streamer on the internet. So it has a very big impact on get out the vote of young people. It's a huge one.
Only relevant if that is ostensibly the only thing that you're bringing to the table. And unfortunately for the Democratic Party, I mean, these used to be wedge issues for a reason, right? These were concocted in think tanks with the deliberate design to make it seem as though there was some significant disagreements between the two parties, and they were created to make the Republicans more popular so that people would focus on whatever, you know, the Family Foundation decided was a more successful way to present anti-trans narratives after focus testing their message. And more, when people are focusing on that, they're always going to go, okay, well, the Democrats are silly. Why do they care about this? This is like a tiny sliver of the population. Instead, they should, like, every moment that they're talking about that is a moment where they're not talking about like affordability, where they're not talking about like a working class centered party.
Where are the Democrats that ran on trans issues? Show them to me, people.
Yeah.
Where are they? They didn't.
No,
Yeah,
they
they didn't.
I agree. They did
It was
not.
the Republicans.
But you actually brought that up, and I want.
No, it's again, guys. It's the disinformation. Oh my God, it's the disinformation. I didn't understand anything that Hassan. Am I having a stroke? Like, I could not understand anything that he said. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand like what Hassan was saying at all. I was like, it was.
100% agree with you.
Okay, you said, good. Sorry, I jumped out my seat.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you because you said the potholes, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about the potholes and your opponent is constantly being like, but what about trans people? Then they look insincere and they look silly. And there is...
Guys, again, I honestly go crazy. I'm so happy I have this stream, because otherwise I would be like listening to this with my earbuds in and just pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in my living room right now, because it's just like how they're talking past one another, because they're not recognizing that it's the social media algorithms that are creating the reality that is false. It is not. It's not them running on it or not. It's not the Republicans running on it or not. It's the disinformation campaigns by these social media algorithms that create the false reality, and then that's why this is happening. It's just so frustrating. Holy crap!
There's no reason to betray marginalized groups and
not being
decide
betrayed.
that we're going to actively write them out of the equation.
They're not being active.
They're
They're
working
not being
class
right
as
now.
well. And this is something that I have never compromised on, and yet seemingly I've been able to find like a very populist and robust movement in my own audience that does not compromise on these issues, but also is always in the affirmative, making the argument that we have to focus on kitchen table issues, if you want to use that kind of language around it, but like center the working class and try to seek out what their problems are, address them, and also make this earnest attempt and show that we are honest about actually fighting for them. And I think Zoran's campaign and its success was a fantastic example of this. I know people say it's in New York, but that's precisely what he did. 5 key issues. He went out, he asked people, what's your problem? I'm going to solve it.
Yeah, I mean, Heather, he spent like the last 9 months saying that Trump and Kamala are the exact same. The presidency would be exactly the same. Because that's how he spent the last year, right? That's how he spent the last year, saying that there's going to be no difference if one gets elected or the other. And now he has to say that now. For some odd reason, I have no idea why. Yeah, he said that repeatedly. He does not. He's not backing down on that. He definitely thinks that it would be the same. Yeah. Exactly, Mego. Yeah, he's one of the main reasons why people voted third party or didn't vote at all. And it's a lot of young people that are impressionable, you know.
And he centered his campaign around 5 key issues of affordability in New York. And lo and behold, in spite of 22 billionaires spending hundreds of millions of dollars trying to take him out, in spite of a very hostile media environment, especially leading up to the primary, or certainly after the primary, they genuflected a little bit by the end. But and all of these attack ads, he still won.
Yeah. I want to tease out.
No, it's your show.
I want to hear what you
I am your guest.
God, this is going great.
Are we having fun yet?
Are we having fun yet? No, Jessica, I want you to respond, and then I want to kind of tease 2 things out.
It's like, okay. The problem with Hassan's analysis is that he's not talking about the things that Harris and Biden did during their presidency that actually did impact kitchen table policies. So if you can't understand how the things that Biden-Harris did that were wins and not champion those, then how are we going to go forward with the things that we need to build on and the things that we need to change and the things that we did right? You know, for example, like for the first time, actual real wages did go up versus inflation. for like one of the only times in the last like 20 years, they actually did go up. They actually did have a big impact. Biden lowered the child poverty rates for the first time ever since the creation of SNAP, of food stamps. He actually lowered the childhood poverty rate. I had conversations with people. I was a grad student at the time. And for the first time, people actually had money because of the child tax credits. They actually had money to pay for childcare. They could go out. They were like, what is this? And I was literally, this is why it's important to get organized, guys. I was literally organizing the grad student parents. So grad students that are also parents. And I was organizing that political group on that student group on campus, and talking to people, and everyone was talking about it. Like, wow, I can like pay for my kids' preschool now. I can pay for my kids' TK. Like, this is incredible. This like literally changed the lives of people, of families that had kids in this country. Like, if that's not a kitchen table or like thing, like, come on. Dems are topping the oligarchs. I'm sorry. Like, that is not correct. I'm sorry. There's only like who do the billionaires want in power right now? The Republicans or the Democrats? It's obvious. Like, the Republicans like are the favorite of the people. Like, I think that's a really tired and old argument that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't think that's correct. Hi, Beckiana. How's it going?
Rape my pussy.
Like, what? I can't even get a single caller on tonight, guys. I've been like trying, like, so it's so weird. I knew that they were like doing something. He didn't say what the things Kamala presented. Then I agree, Island. I like it. But as a political commentator, he shouldn't have to like be the slave of the algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, come on, he has like a due diligence that he has to do in order to understand the political climate of actually what's happening. So. Okay, let's keep going.
Well, I agree. I totally agree. I just exist in a world where we can't behave that way. Like, not everybody who's going to run for office or who wants to have a voice can build the platform that you have. You're ridiculously talented, and...
Damn, thank you.
No, but even being able to talk that long it's a skill set that I don't have. But when you say we don't need to deal with this, and I agree with you about the ad, and I remember when that happened, there are people who are running in races where you need to do more than that. Like, we were talking earlier, I was over doing Tim's pod with him. We're talking about Jared Golden not running in Maine. And Jared Golden can't afford to not talk about the issues that his constituents genuinely care about, because they also vote for Donald Trump. And for some of them, they just want to hear someone say, listen, I want to protect everybody. I'm an inclusive guy, but whatever happened with Leah Thomas, or that's always like the lightning rod, trans athlete issue. I understand your concern about, trans women in women's sports. That doesn't mean Jared Golden needs to say, I want a ban on this. It means Jared Golden says, like the head of the NCAA did when they testified, this is, you're talking about 10 athletes out of 500,000. So it is a small fraction of the population, but I'm not going to
Yeah, but Miss Cake, we had that. Biden was president, and it the billionaires had a lot less power. They didn't have like the routes of corruption that exist under the Trump administration now. So it's like my lived experience doesn't say that. There wasn't handles into $300 million slush funds for some imaginary, ball place that's being built, or some crypto coin, or you know what I mean. There was like lots of checks and balances, and they couldn't buy access, buy bills to get through, buy pardons, buy all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. I genuinely don't feel. I think that like there's been weird buyouts or something, like big. Like, for example, Obama not going after any of the bankers after 2008, like that, for fraud, like that is a huge thing. Oh, Mrs. Dr. G, are you serious? No, Joe, no, again, dude, that is, I don't think that's, I'm sorry, but I just don't think that like it's, yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't even remotely come close. It just doesn't. The Republicans, like nobody spent $300 million to get Biden elected from a billionaire, like a single billionaire. Like Gates didn't just like make his own LLC and just create its own campaign. It just didn't happen. Like there's no examples of that on the left. So you can't just be like, oh, it's on there too. They're just as bad. And it's like it didn't happen. That's never happened. So if it was happening on the left, then I would be like, okay, yeah, that is bad. But we can't just say, oh, well, Democrats exist too, so therefore they're just as bad. Like I'm sorry.
Dismiss your concerns. And this big tent and a winning coalition across this country has to be compromising about what people need to do to win their races. I'm not talking about being bigoted. I'm not talking about being nasty, but the country operates differently in different places. And
I think in that scenario, like in that analogy, Miss Cake, like the meal is the rumps of the politicians. The politicians are pulling down their pants and offering themselves their side of their cheek to the mutts. And the Republicans are fighting over each other in order to pull their pants down the fastest, in order to give the cheek the fastest. The Democrats, I don't see them doing that. I don't see them pulling down their pants and getting bit by the mutt. That is the problem. It's the Democrats don't rein in them, not nearly enough. I agree with you. I agree. But I don't feel like they're the same. It's just the same. I don't. And that is the problem. That is one of the problems that the Democrats have, is that they don't have these Superman-like godly figures in their political factions. That is part of the problem. That is, these young kids, these young guys see the Democrats without this Incredible Hulk or whatever. There is none like that. There's like, who's the biggest billionaire? That's Bill Gates. Like Bill Gates doesn't do shit like that, man. Bill Gates isn't commanding any power. He doesn't understand like the culture. He's not a player in that. He plays no role in our information or of our lives or trying to sway politics. But all of the billionaires, not even Mark Cuban, dude. Mark Cuban really isn't even a Democrat. That's the crazy thing. He's just anti-Trump because Trump and him had a spat, and he's like personally like hates Trump. So Mark Cuban's not even a Democrat.
I feel like we give lip service to that, but don't always behave that way.
The thing is, like, if the Democratic Party was defined by 5 key policies, okay? Medicare for all, single payer system, socialized medicine, right? Something of that sort.
No. This is bad.
And a plan to expand the available housing units. I want.
Kamala literally was offering $50,000 for a freaking house down payment. Like she was literally doing that, dude. Oh my God. She actually did release like a 200-page healthcare plan. Like she literally did, dude. Are you serious?
Socialized housing, that is not even broached. That's not even discussed amongst the Democratic Party. I want a federal jobs guarantee and a.
I mean, I agree. I think it would be nice, but like the Biden administration for the first time brought up the core, what's it called? I applied for it. It was like some scientist, the engineering core, in order to do his some of his infrastructure bill. Like they had it. They had like a federal jobs program. I applied to it.
Jobs program to build those houses, right? Free college, and
like this is the trap, guys. This is the trap. This is the laundry list of policies that Democrats support. But again, like what is the vision here? This is just old policies of things that are successful and that have their own reason for existing, and it is good. But like there's no vision, there's no uniqueness, there's no, it's just dead. It's a dead on arrival. Like it just people. This is boring. It's just boring.
And better education overall from
better education overall. Like they did that. Like literally Biden did do that as a universal pre-K and TK programs that they started and that they paid for by those child tax credits. It's just like it's like half of these things like they already actually did or started to do under the Biden and Harris administration, and like he just doesn't know enough in order to know that like this is actually the Democrats have already done this or started to do it.
From K through 12, if those
he doesn't even know about preschool and TK. He doesn't even know about pre-K and TK. He's that out of touch. He doesn't even know about universal pre-K. He doesn't even know about universal TK. He just thinks kindergarten to 12th grade because that's what he went through. So that's what.
Those were like your 5 key signature campaign promises that directly tackle all of.
But Apple, this is his milestone critique of the entire last campaign, and 30% of them sorry, no, 70% of them were already started by the Harris-Biden administration. He doesn't give them any credit. He doesn't recognize that. And he's dogging on them and saying that, no, you should do it differently. You guys went the totally wrong direction. You should listen to me, which is 3/5 of the way that you guys already did, but I'm going to do it, what? Transitional kindergarten. Yeah, like pre-K is 3, TK is 4, and kindergarten is 5. Head Start is the money that goes, man, I should know this. Head Start. Headstart.gov, yeah. Head Start is a federal program providing free comprehensive early childhood education to low-income ages birth to 5. So yeah, it is pre-K and TK for federal for kids that are lower income. You literally already have so it's a federal program, yeah.
The issues that people, the economic hardships that people in the heartland are actually going through, and not just like highly educated liberals in big cities, then any moment that these people would turn around and be like, well, what about trans people? They're going to get healthcare too. You could just be like, okay, what do you not want healthcare because you think a trans person is going to get it?
Well, I just want to be clear. There was a moment on a debate stage where they weren't talking about trans people, but in the Democratic primary in 2020, they asked, there was one of the large primary debates, and they asked, well, do you think undocumented people should have health care? And people raised their hand, and it was used as an attack ad, and it was an effective attack ad. So I think sometimes I agree with some of what you're saying. Okay, the dig at small businesses, I disagree with, because the biggest driver of wealth in African American communities outside.
If you're not against, if you're not for small businesses, what are you for? Big business? Big business? You want Bezos's business? Like what other businesses is there? Like what? Like they're so dumb. Of course you have to be for small business. Of course you have. Like, come on. Like, what kind of... So dumb. So... Of course you have to be.
Side of government jobs, which is why the fact that 300,000 black women have lost their government jobs is a blow to, like, wealth ascension in this country for black women, is small businesses. And so the small business plan was a plan that spoke to working class black and brown people in this country who do not work at large corporations that had an idea, wanted entrepreneurship.
Imagine not working at Amazon or Apple or Nvidia. Oh my God. Can anyone imagine in a world where people don't work at these, like Google, Microsoft? Imagine. Wow. Oh shit, that's everyone fucking here. Oh shit, that's fucking everyone here. Like everyone's worked at some small business probably in their life, or been impacted by it, or have a parent that did. It's crazy. It's so frustrating.
And then they saw a plan for them, and so it was.
The problem is lefties that are like, business bad, bad business bad. You got to be like, bro. So crazy.
A wide,
what's the proposition? Co-ops? Nationalize everything? It's a joke, dude. I mean, this is the not taking things seriously problem that we have on the left. It's like, these aren't serious proposals, man. These aren't serious proposals. How would I word it? For what? I would small business, being pro small business is very good. You want people to start their own business based off of, and especially in the future with AI, you want people to have the ability to go and be like, okay, well, you lost your job at working at Megacorp, you know, that they AI'd you away, and now you're unemployed. So what are you going to do? Well, guess what? There's going to be a lot of people that want to change tracks, that want to change direction in their life. So what you say is you say, hey, how about you make your own business? How about you start your own business with someone else that you like, that you can do, and you can revamp your career, revamp your life in order to go in a different direction. And how about the government helps you with that? That's what government programs are about, helping people do things that they can't do individually. Should be the goal of government programs, and in doing that, they improve your quality of life. That is what it is. I can't create a scenario where I have all the resources I need in order to provide myself for healthcare, but I need healthcare for me and my family. So the government providing that is a good idea, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, Miss Cake. Yeah, exactly. Community college is a great idea. And it helps you go up, transfer out and transfer to state schools if you want. So absolutely. Yes, Joe, exactly. Small businesses are being hollowed out. Can't compete with big monopolies. Exactly. And that's why they should be given the small business loans that they're talking about. But you thought it was neoliberalism. So, are you a neoliberal now, Joe? Are you
situation. But I guess my point is to Jessica, what Jessica is saying, yes, I do think candidates have to be, you got to run for your district. You got to run for the race that you're in. As a, I'm a black woman from the Midwest every day, everywhere I go. Okay, I live in Washington D.C., but I'm black and I'm bald.
I mean, they're not. Community college is amazing. It's not 20 years behind. I mean, community college is a way for people to reassess. I mean, I went to community college. I loved it. It was great. It was honestly probably better professors and people that actually liked, teaching more than, like my university at UCSD. So like straight up, but I love community college. It was great. It was a great experience.
So there are some things I think I hear when these conversations come up, and I've said in strategist rooms when they've come up on campaigns I've worked on, and I hear them on the sets and the commercial breaks when we have some of these candidates on our show. It feels like to some people that look like me that the people within the party.
I did actually for I went to Irvine Valley College for. No, Irvine ICC or Irvine Community College for my organic chemistry, and then I went to Saddleback for everything else. Yeah, the Gauchos. That was crazy. that was crazy. Yeah.
Apparatus for folks
IVC,
to compromise on issues that for me are uncompromisable. When folks say that, and so I do think that
community college is the actual like trade skills that people talk about. That's like the actual thing that is the mechanism, that allows people for little to no money get into and dabble into a subject and actually start like going down another path, another direction, and getting their feet into where they need to go. So nice overflow. Good job, dude. 11:27. Give it up for overflow. In 3, 2, 1. Overflow. Good job, dude. Oh, sorry, I gendered you. My apologies. I mean, you could be.
The party is like, look, people need to. I think the answer is people need to run for the race that they're in. Okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean when? Because let's be very clear, Donald Trump and the Republicans, they aren't looking for a big tent. They're like,
Okay.
Like, okay.
All right. Let's do. We're halfway through. We're halfway through. This is a good place to stop. Good place to stop, guys. I'm sorry, everyone's dude. It's okay. Everyone's dude. Man, dude. It's okay. All right, guys. Well, that's fun. On these nights, I think I just need to embrace the React streamer and just kind of like go through something and just go through something on my watch later list or something, and I don't have ideas. Okay, cool, Mego. Nice. I tried talking to people, and both were complete failures, guys. That was an awful experience. I will never talk to anyone ever again. So. It's weird, man. It's so weird. Oh. Guys. Big news. So, the host of the panel that I was on Monday, Monday. That was like an 8-person panel thing. But he wants to do like a hosted anti-MAHA like takedown of everything. Of MAHA and everything like that. So me and Corey, who's a master's biochemist, he's a really good guy. I actually know him. I've known him for 4 years now. It's crazy. Yeah, we go way back. We go way back into the before COVID. Well, no, it's still COVID, but my previous persona. And anyway, the idea is that we are no 5 minutes. I was just joking. Because I did it both times and they both screamed slurs, so I had to kick them and ban them immediately. So it was very frustrating. I know. Yeah, overflow. Yeah, pre-doomsday. It was just a pandemic then. It was a quaint little pandemic. It was so nice, guys. It's not gonna be. We're gonna look back at those times and be like, yeah, it was a pandemic, but it wasn't that bad. You know, like, oh yeah, everyone, yeah, 1.2 million people died, and you're like, yeah, you know what? But things weren't that bad. Oh man, yearn for the times of a two-year stay in home, the suggested lockdown days of 2020, 2021. Anyway, sorry. We're gonna do an anti-MAHA like hosted event. So the idea is that he wants to get people that are on his panels and stuff that he thinks are anti-vax and stuff like that, and to come on and have like an extended conversation on Twitch. So he'll be on Twitch, and I'm also talking to him about oops, sorry guys. I also am talking to him about streaming on TikTok. I was like, dude, you should get on TikTok, you know. It's all MAHA stuff. So it's all like MAHA, like, but Jorge's always invited. And then, yeah, so that'd be cool. He has like he streams on Twitch, so it's like a different group, and so it'll be like a long conversation, which is good. Those are the ones that I enjoy anyway. So they're gonna do it. They're really nice. They're being really nice about it. They know that that. Yeah, Miss Cake. I think that's a good point. I know. I need to start. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I need to like start like utilizing my friends group more. Yeah, exactly, Mego. The idea being that I'm gonna stream. He's gonna start streaming on TikTok maybe, and getting more faces, and yeah. So anyway, I am the TikTok evangelist to all my prior crew. Yeah, exactly, Hazel. My next pandemic in the bigly golden ballroom. No, like, fuck, fuck, man. So crazy, dude. Yeah, exactly, Helen. Yeah, I'm just getting more exposure. I'm gonna be doing a pretty big. I'm gonna start sending those emails out to all those podcasts and stuff that you guys. I got like over 20 podcasts that I'm gonna put. I gotta like get like a packet together. It's kind of like a publicity packet. What can I talk about? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? And it's probably a pandemic retrospective. I think that's what I'm gonna have to like talk about. Like how did it go? What do we do? Not just about vaccines, but like the entire pandemic, because then we can talk about like lab leak and all that kind of stuff. More microbiology like stuff, because like I talk about vaccines because it's important. It's the biggest like disinformation that can like really impact people's lives. But yeah, I'm not. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of vaccines. I'm not a expert in them, you know? So, okay. Thank you, 5 minute. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's very nice of you. The elimination of the pandemic response program. Yeah, that was crazy. Just because Obama, it was just because Obama did it. That was it. That was it. He literally did something, and Trump had to eliminate everything that Obama did, and then we have a freaking pandemic. It's so frustrating. You know what that started from? Which is kind of interesting. Is that in 2007, 2006, George W. Bush read a book on pandemics during his summer vacation at Camp David, comes back from vacation, goes like, "Hey, are we like situated for a pandemic? Like, what are we figuring out? Like, what are we doing?" The CDC didn't have a disaster response for a pandemic in the United States, and that's what it did. That was back when, God, George W. Bush is like, I saw a speech by him recently, and you're just like, I yearn for the days. I yearn for the days. Oh, really? 5 minutes? Really? Okay, cool. I know, truthful, factual vaccine knowledge. Yeah. I'm just a fan of vaccines. I'm not an expert in them. So this is like, but I would love to talk about other things too. Didn't the CDC have someone doing zoonotic surveillance in Wuhan that got called back? Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole thing with Peter Daszak and the Eco Health Alliance, and that's why they were funding that stuff. The CDC didn't fund them directly, but it was through an NGO that then funded research into genetic mutations of those bat coronavirus cases. Yeah, it's good. It's good research. We should be doing more of it. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea. So, anyway, guys. Oh shoot, I didn't do like shout outs the entire night. I feel so bad. Thank you guys. I feel bad when I don't do this. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh my gosh. I'm all upside down. Shoutouts. Hi.
So I have a new conspiracy theory for you.
Okay.
The reason that George Bush tore down the East Wing and he's going to build a ballroom, which is curiously being constructed by defense contractors. This is all true. He's doing it, and the flat earthers are going to love this. He's doing it so that he can dismantle the firmament, so that Elon Musk can get his rockets finally through the firmament.
Okay. Cool.
That's my conspiracy theory, and he's going to build himself a safe bunker there, where only they will survive, and then also. People will be able to, a select few will be able to hole up in Joel Osteen's church. And I think there's a safe location. I think the Burj Khalifa. I think that's
Perfect.
it though.
Finally, we can get some flat earth closure. Thanks, Miss Cake. Thanks for coming up. All right, guys. It's been fun. Shout outs real quick. Shout outs. Oops, no. This. Oh no. Oh no. It's all gone. Okay, guys. I can't do it. I changed my stuff. I'm sorry. I can't do the shout outs tonight. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Noble Sharon. I'm just a Bill, Island Time, Night Flyer, Heather, Helen, Miss Cake, AMDZ, Cher, Mego, Aladdin, Charity, Five Men, Maria, Bailey, Julia, Teresa. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. No, I changed my camera, guys. Changed it all. But anyway, we'll watch the rest of this. Talk about the path forward for Democrats, and have more fun tomorrow. All right. I will see you guys later. Thanks for coming. All right, well, wait. We can at least do this. We can do this though. We can play some music. All right, guys. Also, I've had 3 viruses, of which I'm the only person in the world to have that. Oh, wow. Interesting. Huh. Crazy. Interesting 5 minutes. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Bye. Thanks again. Peace. Our YouTube. Thank you, guys. Peace.